High school basketball is on there this evening live from South High. The Lady Fightin Bison and the Fightin Bison will match up with the Lady Bearcats and Bearcats, respectively, of Scottsbluff High School. This preseason action on 1480 KRAE is being brought to you by our fine sports sponsors. Now, let's send it out to South High for preseason hoops action as the Lady Fightin Bison and the Fighting Bison will match up with the Scottsbluff Lady Bearcats and Bearcats. Before the opening tap of the ladies contest, let's check in with our pregame show. Right now, let's bring on Chris Polton and Nick Proietti right here on 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Welcome inside Fightin Bison Stadium. We're on the campus of South High School once again. It feels like we were just here 3 days ago. Oh, wait.
We were.
Well, 4 days ago, I guess.
Yeah.
It was Friday. The weekend kind of runs together. We will have double dip action for you for Fightin Bison basketball as the Scottsbluff High School Bearcats are in-house, a very tough team out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska. We'll see a very good men's team and a very physical women's team here tonight out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska.
And we'll see what the legs are going to be like for Lady Fightin Bison. And Bison coming off, again, 3 straight days this past weekend, stretching from Thursday, Friday, Saturday of, again, nonstop basketball for, again, both squads. Part of that Taco John's Invitational happening here at Cheyenne South. Again, seeing a lot of top-level talent, at least from across the state of Wyoming, coming here in town. And for both, at least the girls and boys here at Cheyenne South, they all got tested. They got kind of worked out here. At least Lady Fightin Bison came away 1-2 for the, at least Jeff Bailey's squad came away 2-1 from that Taco John's Invitational. So we'll see what the legs are like, how at least ladies are at least feeling fresh right now, so to speak. Again, taking on a very talented Scottsbluff team, the Lady Bearcats and Bearcats respectively here at South High. Again, it should be a fun one. It's an interesting one. We got Tuesday night hoops here, at least in town. Cheyenne South is the only high school game happening here, I do believe, in the state of Wyoming happening here tonight. So, but looking forward to it, more non-conference action, and at least here to start out this 2019-2020 season.
Well, and actually Scottsbluff is going to be here tonight. They're at East Friday, and then they'll be at Central on Saturday. So for Scottsbluff, they'll be doing a lot of traveling because I'm assuming they're not staying down here, especially on that Friday-Saturday swing with it only being about 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So they'll be logging the miles to the Cheyenne schools. Again, they'll be at the Thunderdome Friday and then over at the Central Fieldhouse against the Indians, which that will be some really good basketball as well. Of course, we got to break up a little bit of the NGCAA hoops a little bit, as you and Larry Proietti have been awfully busy on the LCCC side.
We've been on the road for a long
Saturday,
time.
Big game that was on the last Saturday when the Lady Golden Eagles, probably one of their biggest wins in program history, especially the fact that it was a Region 9 matchup.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, if you missed it from Saturday over at the rack for LCCC, the Lady Golden Eagles getting it done against the number 18 nationally ranked Casper College Lady Thunderbirds there. Again, that was a 10-point win for the Lady Golden Eagles. Again, that is their second top 25 victory here in this season alone for Coach Ortmeyer and his Lady Golden Eagles, so congratulations. But yes, we will be busy with more LCCC action coming up this weekend, Thursday and Saturday. Thursday's contest will be up in Riverton to see Central Wyoming. Men's and women's action, that would be 5:30 and 7:30 are the at least tentative start times for those contests. And then Saturday we'll move on over to Sheridan, Wyoming, Sheridan College to see the Lady Generals and Generals. Again, that will be 2 and 4 o'clock coming up this weekend. But do want to at least take this opportunity right now to thank some of our fine sports sponsors. And without them, we would not be able to bring you high school basketball, LCCC basketball, and high school football throughout this season. I'd like to thank Arrow Moving and Storage, B&B Appliance, Baskin Robbins, the LCCC Flight Crew, the Breadbasket Bakery, Burns Insurance Company, Capital Lumber Company, Charles Schwab, Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, Chick-fil-A, Fat Boys Tire and Auto, First Education Federal Credit Union, Foot of the Rockies, Holiday Motors, High West Energy, Joed Produce, Key of Cheyenne, LCCC, First Tier Bank, and also to Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, the Injury Prevention Center. As we alluded to, Chris, again, we have at least 5:30 at least start time. We just saw the JV at least teams of the girls' side between Scottsbluff and Cheyenne South, where unfortunately Scottsbluff went well ahead. They had about a 30-point at least victory against that JV squad. Hopefully we'll see a different turn of events for Chad DeBryan and his Lady Fightin Bison, who on this early part of the season have had some kind of young mistakes of what we've been seeing for the past couple seasons. Even though this team has, again, sporting a lot of juniors, a lot of seniors, it's no longer the freshman-led, no longer the sophomore-led. These are young ladies out there that have built within this program, have a lot of varsity minutes, but are still making some of those young mistakes out on the court right now. And hopefully it's something that you get it out of your system now before we take on at least Central, Cheyenne East, Laramie, once you get into the Eastern and also to Southeast quadrant play coming up here very soon.
Well, and to tease it a little bit, that was one of the things that Coach Chad DeBryan and myself talked about was, as much as you want to win this game here, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get yourself ready because next week starts quadrant play. Of course, next week we will have Laramie and Central. That will be on Friday. That will be from the field house, but South will be playing East and I believe East and Laramie next week. Yes, East and Laramie next week. And so with that quadrant play starting, you have to be ready and you have to start fast. This is a tough quadrant, especially on the girls' side. You have the number 1 team in the state. You have the number 2 team in the state. And so with that being the case, you need to make sure you take care of business, especially when you play a team like Laramie.
Absolutely. And again, they're going to get a real test here against the Lady Bearcats, who come into this contest 8-5 overall for Cheyenne South. As I look at the standings for the Lady Fightin Bison, they come into this contest 3-6 overall. Want to thank more of our fine sports sponsors. We'd like to thank MHP, Lennox Auto Body, Little Philly, Mary's Mountain Cookies, Medicap Pharmacy, Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Page and Zach Lane at Number 1 Properties, Pepsi of Cheyenne, sponsoring our Pepsi scoreboard, Pete's Builders, Platte Valley Bank, Taco John's, the Gill Window Company, YDOT, and also to Cheyenne Urological.
We'll take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll have that conversation that I had with Chad DeBryan earlier after this 1-minute timeout on 1480 KRAE.
If you're looking for fun and style, then the new 2019 Kia Optima has what you need. And here at Kia of Cheyenne, we can help you own one. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Optima will reward your daily drive with comfort, performance, and advanced engineering. Kia Optima technology, your phone allows access to remote lock or unlock, climate control, 24-hour roadside assistance, and much more. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Welcome back to our high school pregame show. Now joined alongside South High Lady Fightin Bison head coach Chad DeBryan. Coach, 1-2 on the Taco John invite, but really 2 tough matches against two teams that will probably qualify for state on the other side. But then a big win against Evanston, an exciting win that we had here, and now a quick turnaround. Anything that you guys really talked about, worked on yesterday to really get prepared for your one game this week?
Yesterday we treated it like a shoot-around. We came in, it's a quick turnaround, and I knew the kids were tired, so we did a lot of shooting, a lot of free throws and things like that. We'll get hard after it. After this game, we'll really get after it and get ready for the East Central week.
Final tune-up with Scottsbluff. This is always a good team to play because they're always physical, and 2, they're usually very sound. What kind of potential problems could they, bring to your team tonight?
They're quick. They're going to play man defense. They like to get out and run. Actually, they're similar to the Bison in a lot of respects, except they have probably better shooters. They can stroke it. If they get hot, they're a team. They're a force. They whipped us last year. They had a kid who scored, she set a school record in 3-pointers last year, and they just got hot, and we couldn't stop them.
Yeah, and so that's Aubrey Krentz, I'm assuming that she's one that if she hits early, she hits often. You guys like to run a lot of zone, at least you did against Evanston. Is that something that you'll be doing a little bit more, or will you kind of slide it more into man?
No, and actually we played a lot of man in the first half of the Evanston game. We want to play more man tonight, and honestly that's more just to kind of get us ready for the conference season. we don't want to show too much on film right now, so we'll play a lot of man tonight.
Callista, Van Tassel, you go, as you said, you go as they go, but it was Jaya Brown against Evanston that really came up. How important will it be for her, not just tonight, but for the whole season, to really kind of be that calming presence out on the floor for you?
Well, the calming presence, and we need her to score a little bit too. When we can get 3 kids in double figures, we usually win. And when we just rely on Callista and Riley, sometimes it's tough to find scoring in other places. So we need a kid like Jay to step up and make some free throws and maybe, be an 8 to 12 point kid every night.
And then, like you said last week, where Reagan Moore's going to be coming back, and you're kind of easing her back as she's kind of kicking off some rust. How important will it be to see her just kind of make that next step moving forward?
It's huge because we can put a big lineup out there when she's on the floor, and she gets to the free throw line like crazy. So if she can start making some free throws, she can be another one of those kids that maybe gets double figures for us.
Lastly, about the free throws, one of the lowest free throw shooting attempts, aggressiveness. Is that something you're going to be trying to go after, especially on the offensive end, is getting to the hoop and really getting to the line more importantly?
Yeah, we're going to try and pound the post, and I think if you can take the ball inside, you're going to get to the free throw line.
Right, and we'll definitely open it up for your shooters in Tovar and Callista as well, which I'm assuming is another added benefit when you can get it into more Van Tassel and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And then Andrea Damasa, great job coming off the bench. She seems to be like an energy spark plug for you off the bench. How important will it see for her? Because this is really – she hasn't seen this much varsity time this really in her junior year. How important will it be for her to continue to move forward?
It's huge. Right now she's kind of a streaky kid, but I think as she gets a little bit more experience, she's going to be a kid that we can count on each night.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. More of a high school pregame show right after this on 1480 KRAE.
College has been something that's always been on the back of my mind.
This is where I found what I wanted, one of my passions, what I really love to do.
In class, I feel more engaged.
The people here do care about you, and they want to help you succeed in life.
They make it so easy to be a parent and be able to still go to school.
I like the way I'm improving.
I love being, part of the WHSAA family, and I'm glad I made this step in my life.
Welcome back inside the Fightin Bison Stadium here at South High School. Before we go on more with this matchup, one of the things we would like to do is obviously congratulate Coach Brian Ortmeyer. I believe the first time in his career, Coach of the Week in the NGC AA. Is it just a regional deal, or was it?
Again, didn't see the whole specifics on it, but again, it was just at least website that does take a look at least women's basketball, where they awarded at least NCAA D1, D2, D3, and then yes, of course, at least Brian Ortmeyer of what he's been doing with his team again right now for the Lady Golden Eagles on a 5-game winning streak. Right now, after defeating and upsetting Casper College this past weekend, was named at least the Coach of the Week. So again, high honors as again this run right now LCCC's on this season, this historic and again record-breaking season continues on, and we will talk more with head coach Brian Ortmeyer coming up tomorrow on Wyoming Sports Talk Today, a part of the LCCC Coaches Show. That is from 4 to 5 p.m. here on 1480 KRAE. It will be women up first, men up first, women up second. Again, 4 and 5 o'clock coming up tomorrow during Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Looking forward to it. Again, head coach Brian Ortmeyer, the Lady Golden Eagles, head coach Jason Ficca of the men's squad of the Golden Eagles, and hopefully players as well, too, to talk about with both respective teams.
Yeah, and again, as you said, they're on a nice little run. They're making program history as well, which for Coach Ortmeyer, I believe this is the 4th season as a program. To be able to knock down some walls is good to see. Here at Fightin Bison Stadium, the South High team, they got to build some momentum. Of course, they lost the last day against the Taco John in the Taco John invite, but for them, you need to build some type of momentum. Granted, they are tired. Coach Chad DeBryan talked about how he made it to where there was more of a shoot around yesterday, and then after today they're going to get back after it. They're not going to have another game until next week, so they're going to have some time to really focus on the fundamentals, focus on what makes them good, and watch a lot of film, I'm assuming too, and really get what their keys are and ensure that they're going to be ready to go. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the Scottsbluff Lady Bearcats starting lineup right here on 1480 KRAE. Scottsbluff High School Lady Bearcats, coached by David Balish, again coming in at 8-5. The starting five will be a 5'3" sophomore guard, number 1, Mariah Avila, a 5'5" junior guard, number 3, Izzy Wright, a 5'7" senior guard, number 5, Yara Garcia, a 5'6" senior guard slash, so sometimes be in the post, number 24, Aubrey Krentz, 5'6" junior, number 25, Emma Foote. This is a team that scores 54 points a game. They give up 44.5 points, so winning most of their games by near double digits. And Aubrey Krentz in the pregame show is the one that Coach Chad DeBryan was alluding to, a young lady that if she gets hot, she can hit a lot from outside the arc. Yara Garcia is also a young lady that can get hot from behind the arc as well, Nick.
Absolutely. Again, this is a team that comes in, again, both at least programs for the girls and boys basketball over at Scottsbluff. Again, pretty prestigious. This is going to be at least gut check time here for the Lady Fightin Bison. This is a Scottsbluff team for at least for Cheyenne South. You're committing turnovers. Lady Bearcats are going to cash in without a doubt. Again, they're going to have that high-powered offense, as you mentioned, again, score, at least averaging what they do. So this is going to be an interesting contest for Chad DeBryan and his Lady Fightin Bison. Again, non-conference, but it still regards that overall record for Cheyenne South.
And Scottsbluff has played other teams in the state of Wyoming. They played in the Energy Classic where they went up against Campbell County and Thunder Basin. They were competitive against them too, to kind of give you an idea. We'll take a 2-minute timeout here, and when we come back, we'll have the starters for Coach Chad DeBryan and the South High Lady Fightin Bison right here on 1480 KRAE. Here are the starters for the South High Lady Fightin' Bison coming in at 3 and 6. Their head coach Chad DeBryan will have junior guard / forward number 2 Callista Martinez, 10 points, 4 rebounds a game for her. Senior guard number 4 Angie Leggett, 2.5 points. Junior guard number 12 Jaya Brown, someone he's going to be looking at a lot to try and get on the scoreboard. She's averaging 6 points a game. Junior guard number 13 Raina Tovar, 5 points. And then their big forward number 22 junior Riley Van Tassel, 10.5 points, 5 rebounds per game. Nick, we saw a little bit of man, we saw a little bit of zone, but when you have a team that shoots as well as they do, you're going to have to play man, and someone's going to have to do the job and get after Aubrey Krentz, after Yada Garcia. You're going to have to get him, and a good way to do that is by having very efficient offensive possessions and make them work hard on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, we go back to at least contests that we saw in this past Friday against Evanston, where Cheyenne South came away in a close one. Again, overtime victory for the Lady Fightin' Bison against an Evanston Lady Red Devils team that's kind of struggling as well too. But for Cheyenne South, this is a situation where, again, you lived on the edge, so to speak, against at least Lady Red Devils, where for Cheyenne South, and again, taking on the Scottsbluff team, you got to play crisp basketball if you want to pull off the upset victory, so to speak, against the Lady Bearcats. You got to play at least, again, pretty much near perfect ball to get the victory here.
And there's one change. Andrea DeMoss will actually be the one starting instead of Jaya Brown. So South in their home whites, they'll go right to left across your radio dial computer screen, and they'll start with the basketball. Callista Martinez has it. Scottsbluff in their road red with the gray letters, white numbers, and gray on the side. It's a start off in a zone. It's a quick steal. It's Mariah Avila going coast to coast with the left hand, too strong. DeMoss grabs the rebound for South. There's Martinez who leaks out. She has the easy lay-in for 2. So fortunate there, the turnover didn't turn into points, and it came away with a 2-0 lead for South. In the corner, Krentz with the basketball, comes back up top. It's Yada Garcia, dribbles with the right hand. She carried the basketball. It'll be the first turnover for Scottsbluff.
But Cheyenne South, though, coming out with some energy, having the 2-0 lead here early on in this contest. This is something for Cheyenne South. They need points aplenty to keep up pace with Scottsbluff if they find a way to get at least hot on the offensive side.
3-2 zone, another steal. This time it's Izzy Wright who comes up with the basketball. Then DeMoss takes it right back, so steal for steal right between those two. DeMoss gets it across the timeline. She has the basketball with the right hand, comes up top to Tovar. Dribbles it to the right wing, looking to go down low. Martinez from 5 on the corner. It's short, and the rebound will be out of play. Last touch by Van Tassel. This 3-2 zone for the Bearcats, making it very hard for them to get it to Van Tassel in the post.
Well, it's not great to see that Cheyenne South, again, having difficulty with those high percentage short, at least footage shots here. Again, that pretty much almost cost him a game against Evanston.
With the basketball, Garcia at the right block, goes up with the big shot, rattles it home. It's 2-2 the score, and a timeout called as there's some
debris
trash on the court, but it's 2-0 after a nice take by Garcia. As with 6:44 on the Pepsi scoreboard, we are tied up at 2. South has the basketball. They're going to have Van Tassel start right at the free throw line. Martinez will start down low on this offensive set here for South. Tovar has it at the top, dribbles to the left side, looking to go down low. Instead, will come into the corner. Martinez open for 3. It's an air ball. She falls to the floor. No call. It's going to be last touch by Leggett. It will say Scottsbluff basketball. Inbounding it will be Avila. She'll bring it in to Garcia. Garcia with the 2-2-1 pressure by South. She gets around by herself, goes to the corner, passes tipped, goes to Krentz. She'll put up her first 3-ball attempt. That's an air ball, and the rebound comes down to Tovar for South. Lob pass to Andrea. Andrea gets into the lane, going to the rack, is fouled on the way up. And that's one thing that Coach DeBryan wants his team to do. They want them to be aggressive and get to the foul line as a team that shoots the fewest foul shots in Class 4A.
Foul's going to be against the Lady Bearcats. That's going to be called against Avila, so she'll pick up her first foul.
Moss, 71% on the season, cashes her first one. Nothing but net for the junior.
Again, as we're seeing at least a repeat performance of what we saw against Evanston, this hot start by Cheyenne South, but eventually throughout that game, they kind of cooled off on the offense.
Second one on the way. It's too strong, and the rebound will come to Foote. She picks up her first rebound on the night. Garcia in transition, almost taken away by Leggett. She slaps it out of play to the first row of the bleachers, and Scottsbluff on the far side will inbound it on the sideline. Garcia wipes her shoes off before grabbing the basketball. Now dribbles with the right hand. May have gotten away with another carry. Foote just inside the paint, or just inside the key. Now in the lane, puts up the right hand floater. Back iron, left iron, right iron. And it's going to be last touch by Scottsbluff out of play. South will have the basketball. Another thing that South did not do very well was box out and get the defensive rebounds.
Well, and the thing compared to that Evanston contest, you had to worry about a 6'1" at least athlete out there for the Lady Red Devils. So far, right now, as again, we have a player at least.
That's Emma Foote that may have hurt her foot, as she has a hard time. It looks like on that right foot there, may have rolled it coming down on that floater. So she's going to be escorted over towards the trainer for South. And they'll bring her over to her table and take a look at that. Coming in for her will be sophomore forward Brady Lockemer. Lockemer is a sophomore that stands, I think she's listed at 5'7". She looks a little bit taller than 5'7". Of course, we're up here at the top row, just behind the scoring table. DeMoss will run the point.
But for Cheyenne South, as I was mentioning again, not a whole lot of height to battle on the inside for those rebounds.
Martinez has it inside the paint, goes to Van Tassel, her first touch, head down, puts up the right hand floater, lays it in for two. Good job there by Van Tassel to finish through contact. 5-2 South with the lead. Across the timeline comes Zavilla for Scottsbluff. Dribbles with the right hand, comes over to the corner. Now South in a 2-3 zone. Garcia with the basketball on the wing, directing traffic, will dribble it out and now set up the offensive set for the Bearcats. Into the lane, Krentz, bounce pass, faking the shot and traveling with the basketball was Avila. Got a little happy feet there when she went to fake the shot, picks both feet up and then finally decide to make her cut and dribble. Leggett to inbound it, will give it in to DeMoss, who will walk it across the timeline, starting for Jaya Brown tonight. Tovar with the basketball, comes to the left wing. Almost looked like she was going to be double teamed again. She's able to get it away. DeMoss has it. Tovar straight away three, high arcing, nothing but nets for Rainia Tovar, and it's an 8-2 start here for the Fightin Bison. Avila in the corner. Krentz will put up the three. She's not shy, and she hits it. Her first 3 points, and that answers the three by Tovar, 8-5. South with the lead. Van Tassel throws up an air ball from two, and we have a foul on the floor. It will be on Rainia Tovar, who displaced, I think that was Lockemer down below.
As that will be the first team foul called against Cheyenne South Lady Fighting Bison. As you mentioned with Tovar, she'll pick up her first.
4:33 on the Pepsi scoreboard. 8-5 South with the lead. Bearcats with the basketball. In the left corner, it is Garcia, skip past to Krentz, almost taken away by DeMoss. Great job by Andrea as she gets a high five from Coach DeBryan reading the pass.
Give credit to this Lady Fighting Bison defense so far, at least beyond that 3-point, at least made by Lady Bearcats a few seconds ago. In about a couple minutes went by that for Scottsbluff.
Freshman Peyton Berta will come in for Scottsbluff, dribbles behind the back. Now the zone for South is switch back to man. In the corner, left wing, it's a three by Garcia. She knocks it down. Gonna have to get out there on their shooters. Garcia's got 5. We're tied up at 8. Tovar on the left wing. Over up top to Leggett, loses the handle. Go to the Martinez in the wing. Hits the cutting Tovar. Maybe a tough pass to handle for Tovar. Luckily for her, Krentz was the last one to get a piece of it. Leggett will inbound the basketball underneath.
8-minute quarters here in the high school ranks.
Inbound comes to Tassel. Nice seal. Turnaround floater. Too strong. And the rebound comes down to Krentz, her first one. Krentz across the timeline. Nobody picks her up. She sits in the corner. Will come up top. It's right with the basketball. Now straight away. Berta, jump stop, traveled. Took one too many steps after the jump stop. And more substitutions, as we'll see Moore and Harlan come in for South. Reagan Moore and McKenna Harlan. Van Tassel and Leggett will come out for the Lady Fighting Bison, and in for Scottsbluff will be number 11, Callie Wright, and I think number 34, Lockemer, will come back in.
And Cheyenne South right now taking their time trying to set up the offense here.
Trying to find a way to get inside on this 3-2 zone. Martinez has it, goes short corner to Moore. Back up top, Harlan has it on the wing. Bounce pass, too strong, it's on the floor. Still on the floor, Reagan Moore picks it up and then traveled.
And trying to get away, at least not focusing on the feet there, just trying to at least get that basketball and attempt to drive inside. Didn't realize that she was still moving the feet.
Garcia with the basketball, goes into the corner. It's Callie Wright with the basketball. Garcia has it back, down low. Lockemer on the right block is going to be held by DeMoss. DeMoss wanted a jump ball, and they're not going to come together. They're going to call a foul. And actually, a foul's going to be on Reagan Moore, which is, I guess, a little bit more explainable than the foul on DeMoss there. So going to the line for the first time will be Brady Lockemer.
As you mentioned, Reagan Moore picking up that foul, her first, team second call against the Lady Fight Bison.
Scottsbluff, first one is short. Coming into the game will be number 10 as they go to their bench early and often. Emma Herman will be coming in.
As we're seeing another scoring drought here by Cheyenne South, something that has kind of plagued Lady Fighting Bison throughout the season.
Second one on the way, it rattles home. Then she goes 1 for 2, does Lockemer. And the first lead for Scottsbluff, 9-8 at the 3:02 mark here on the Pepsi scoreboard. Across the timeline, Harlan straight away, goes to the left side. Tovar looking to go down low. Instead, we'll bring it back up top. DeMoss has the basketball, looking to go in the corner. Instead, we'll reverse court to Tovar. Working the perimeter. Martinez open, puts it up for 3. It's going to be an air ball off the head of Garcia. Grabbing the loose ball is Krentz. Krentz picks up her second rebound. She'll bring it across the timeline herself. 9-8 as she pulls from 3. It's short. On the floor goes Martinez, grabbing the easy offensive rebound was Lockemer. She lays it in for 2. 11-8 the score with 2:28 left here in the first quarter.
As the Lady Bearcats are having no trouble getting on the inside, being aggressive, and getting those easy just layup opportunities.
Tovar has the basketball on the left wing, looking to go short corner to Moore. Instead, it's on the elbow. Harlan has it on the right block, puts up the left-hand shot, back iron, front iron, and into the hands of Aubrey Krentz. Third rebound for Krentz. In transition, right with the basketball, goes to Yada Garcia. Garcia sizing up. Tovar gets in the lane, puts it off the glass and in for 2. She's got 7, and the lead's up to 5.
And something you just mentioned at the beginning of this contest, again, you need a box out against this Lady Bearcats team. Cheyenne South not doing it.
Nice post move by Reagan Moore, and she throws it in for 2. I said slamming in, but she couldn't get that high. She did roll it in for 2. 13-10 the score as Martinez is going to pick up her first foul. She crashes into, I think that was Callie Wright she may have crashed into, or Lockemer. Lockemer is the one she crashes into.
As you mentioned with Callista picking up her first foul, team's third called against the Lady Fighting Bison, as we'll see more subs in for both teams here.
Van Tassel Leggett will come in for South. Tovar and Callista will take a seat. Berta and Avila back in for Scottsbluff. Krentz down low on the block, kick out. Yada Garcia for 3 in the right corner. Hits off the left and right iron, and the offensive rebound grabbed by Avila. Avila with the basketball, throws it down low, ripped away by Moore, and they're going to call a foul on Reagan Moore, saying she got the hand. That will be her second.
Her second, team's fourth now called against Cheyenne South in this quarter.
Coach Chad DeBryan shaking his head to not agree with the call. He's got a good case. It looked like Moore got a lot of basketball when she ripped it away. Krentz from the right corner puts up the 3 over the back call on Emma Herman, the 1-6-footer on this team. And for the senior, she picks up her first foul.
Her first, team second call against the Lady Bearcats.
Moss with the basketball, 13-10, our first quarter score. Scottsbluff with the lead. They've had it as many as 5 here in this first quarter. 1:08 left on the Pepsi scoreboard. DeMoss has it straight away. Bounce pass to Harlan, loses control, regathers it. Skip pass to Tovar on the left wing. She puts it up from 3, hits off the front iron. Harlan grabs the offensive rebound, looking for someone to get open, and threw it away, but Tovar able to run it down. And it's a travel on Tovar, and Coach Chad DeBryan wanting a push call and did not get it from the Zebras. 49.3 left, 13-10, Scottsbluff with the lead. They also have the basketball.
As Scottsbluff again turning it around here at this tail end of this first quarter and taking advantage of those miscues by Cheyenne South.
Garcia spin move, kick out, Herman for 3. Rattles in, Herman hit her first 3 points, puts the lead up to 6, the largest here in this quarter. DeMoss puts her head down, gets in the lane, goes to Van Tassel on the right block. Nice move, goes for the reverse, and she's fouled by Krentz.
As Krentz will pick up her first foul, team's third called against the Lady Bearcats of Scottsbluff here.
Gonna have to try and find a way to cash in some easy buckets.
Well, and this is the opportunity right now, again, with the free throw opportunity.
Van Tassel, first one, cash money, nothing but net for the junior. She's got 3 points, the lead back to 5 with one more free throw coming for Riley Van Tassel. Second one by Van Tassel is going to be well short. This rebound will be grabbed by Berta, her first one. Berta will take it across the timeline herself as well. Crossover, stops at the wing, now looks for her point guard and gives it to her. That's Garcia. Krentz, right corner, not shy, pulls and rolls it in. Her second three ball hit the lead up to 8 with 13 seconds left. South with the basketball. DeMoss looks to go down low, instead up top. Harlan has it down low, and Van Tassel pushed on the back as Herman will pick up her second foul.
Her second, team's fourth called against the Lady Bearcats. As for Scottsbluff, they are starting to fill it from behind the arc. And no pressure on those, at least outside, at least wings right now for Cheyenne South.
Leggett looking to get it in with 5.8 left and throws it to Harlan. It's going to be a jump ball, and it will be Scottsbluff basketball with 3.5 seconds left. 19-11, Scottsbluff with the lead. South had their largest lead of 6 when it was 8-2. Right now, Scottsbluff with their largest lead, 19-11. Garcia throws it up before the horn. It's off the right iron and falls to the floor. 1 quarter of play here. Scottsbluff 19, South 11. A 1 minute timeout on 1480 KRAE. Talked to Coach Chad Bryan in the pregame and wanted to, and one thing we told him as we looked, we were going to have to stop being South was going to be the 3-ball. They hit 3 threes in that quarter, 2 of them by Krentz, 1 by Garcia. Garcia leads everybody with 7, Krentz with 6.
And that wasn't even a pretty, at least first quarter for Scottsbluff, but found a way to have an 8-point advantage over Cheyenne South where, you know, again, that bugaboo for this Lady Fightin Bison team of just going on those very long cold streaks on the offensive side, again, reared its ugly head here, at least in that first quarter.
Martinez, Leggett, Van Tassel, Tovar, and Harlan out on the floor for South. Tovar puts it up from 10, hits off the back iron, and the rebound comes to Berta. It's Berta, Izzy Wright, Krentz, Garcia, and Avila. Krentz pulls from the right wing, nothing but net. Quick trigger, she's got 9.
How about
22-11 the score.
11-point advantage now for Scottsbluff.
Martinez has it high on the right side. Will put up from 5. Bank shot off the mark, and the rebound comes to Krentz, her 4th rebound. Krentz throws it away to Garcia. Krentz and Garcia are the 2 that you have to find when you get down the floor. For right now, we haven't seen if they had any other shooters because nobody's really had the opportunity to put it up because those 2 have done everything.
We have a timeout called by Chad DeBryan.
It's going to be a 30, so we'll take a quick 30-second timeout as well right here on 1480 KRAE. Two to 11, Scottsbluff with the lead, 7:22 on the Pepsi scoreboard. It's been the 3-ball that has really extended the lead here for Scottsbluff, who were once down 6 in that first quarter.
And you hope that Chad DeBryan in that timeout talked with those Lady Fighting Bison, basically saying, hey, when they're outside that perimeter again, get hands up in their face.
Tovar has it, tries to go down low, batted away by Garcia. She was trying to hit Van Tassel on that right block. Again, Van Tassel having her touches limited with this zone that's just crashing down on the South High big. In the corner, Tovar has it. She'll put up her third three-ball attempt. It's long, and the rebound comes to Leggett. Bangs it off the Scottsbluff player. It will stay South basketball as she was right in front of the Scottsbluff bench. Tovar will inbound it. Tovar looking for Van Tassel. She's on the left block, goes to Martinez from 5, rattles in and out. Harlan grabs the offensive rebound, puts up the wild shot, goes off the hands of Van Tassel and out of play. It'll be Scottsbluff basketball.
Again, point blank, high percentage shots that should fall through for the Lady Fighting Bison. Again, has been another issue for the Cheyenne South team.
Garcia with the basketball, puts 2 fingers up in the air, now directing traffic. Goes with the right hand, gets in the lane, runs into Van Tassel, travels. They have 5 turnovers. 4 of them have been via the travel.
But that offense is making up for the turnovers for the Lady Bearcats. Again, up by 11 here.
Tovar, she'll put up 2 fingers for this offensive set against the 3-2 zone of Scottsbluff. Harlan with the right hand dribble, stops, throws it out to Tovar. In the corner, Van Tassel, 2 dribbles, gets in the lane, jump stop. She's going to be called for the travel first. She may have taken 2 little baby steps with that left foot.
She basically made a little bunny hop there on the inside. Again, ref saw that movement and called for another turnover against Cheyenne South.
6:25 left here in the second quarter. 22-11 Scottsbluff with the lead, and Martinez with good defense, hustling after Krentz bats the pass out of play. It'll be Scottsbluff basketball. Berta to inbound it, far side. Gets it into Avila. Looking in this 2-3 zone of South. Skip pass to Berta. Berta with the right hand dribble. Will come back up top to Avila. South looks like now they're back in man. Avila stops at the block. Kick out. Stolen away by Van Tassel. Nice hands there by Tovar to get the deflection. Van Tassel comes up with the loose ball steal. Leggett with it. Comes up top to Harlan. DeMoss to check in. Next whistle for South. Corner, Leggett, no interest in shooting. Instead goes to Tovar over the head, and Berta grabs the rebound. She's looking to go coast to coast. Good defense by Harlan as that shot goes off the right iron, and Callista Martinez grabs the rebound. Long pass is going to be an easy steal for Garcia as she runs it down. It's the 6th turnover for South. Garcia goes into the lane, kick out. Berta from 3, got it to go through the front iron. And now Peyton Berta, another 3-point shooter for this Bearcats team, extends it to 14.
Now Scottsbluff is red hot right now from behind the arc.
Tovar with the basketball, bounces it one way, goes to the right to Harlan. Skip pass, Leggett gets in the lane, puts up the right-hand shot, hits off the left iron. Krentz grabs her 5th rebound. Krentz across the timeline on the right side, bumps into Leggett and then slows it down on the wing. Garcia, she's open and will pull from the left wing. Nothing but net for Yana Garcia. She's got a game-high 10. Her second 3-ball hit, the lead up to 17.
As a Scottsbluff team, not afraid, at least, again, being on the road, taking on a Cheyenne South team, they have showed up and they're ready to play.
Leggett down low, Martinez with the left hand, too strong, and the rebound comes down to Garcia. And she will be fouled by Callista Martinez. Maybe a frustration foul there by Martinez as she'll pick up her second foul, and DeMoss will come in. Lockemer and Callie Wright will come in for Scottsbluff.
As you mentioned, with Martinez picking up her second foul, team's 5th called against Cheyenne South here in this first half, and we're going to have timeout called by Chad DeBryan, a full timeout.
We'll take a 1-minute timeout as well, 28-11 right here on 1480 KRAE. 6 3-pointers for Scottsbluff, and they have a 17-point lead, 28-11 with 4:43 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Scottsbluff will have the basketball after the second timeout called by Coach Chad DeBryant. Berta with it on the left side. She'll pull it from 3, nothing but net. Oh my goodness, this team is sizzling from deep.
20-point lead now for Lady Bearcats, as again from behind the arc they are unstoppable right now.
Harlan with a couple of dribbles at the right hand. Tovar straight away goes to Moore at the right block, got away with the travel. Tovar straight away hits flat on that back iron. DeMoss grabs the offensive rebound though. Van Tassel at the free throw line, kick out. Harlan, she'll try herself a 3. Off the glass, misses the iron. DeMoss grabs another offensive rebound, thrown to the floor, goes to Moore, who tries to bank it in with the right hand on the left side and misses her shot, then grabs her own rebound. Goes to Tovar, right hand floater, hits off the left iron, and a rebound grabbed by Krentzen. We get a Scottsbluff foul.
It looks like that's going to be called against, I believe, Lockhomer. Yeah.
Comer will pick up her first.
Her first, team's 5th called against Scottsbluff, so at least Cheyenne South will keep the ball on the offensive zone.
They need to find a way to crack through this lid. They're scoreless thus far in 4 minutes and 6 seconds of the quarter. Harlan has it on the block, goes to Van Tassel from 10. That one rolls in by Van Tassel. She's got 5, and that ends a big run by Scottsbluff. Villa, nobody picks her up, and she just goes coast to coast and lays it in.
Falling asleep on the defense, that has been the key here for Cheyenne South.
Villa with their first 2 points, lead back up to 20 for Scottsbluff. DeMoss running the point. We'll get it across the timeline so far. No Jaya Brown tonight. DeMoss with the left-hand dribble, looking to go in the corner. Tovar has it. Skip pass over to Harlan. Harlan looks down low, throws it right through the hands of Tovar, but they're going to say it was last touch by Lockermer. Jamison Howard, Garcia, and it looks like Izzy Wright will come in for Scottsbluff. For Scottsbluff, Jamison Howard, a 5'9 junior, her first time in tonight. Van Tassel into the lane, puts up the right hand, too strong. Garcia grabs her 3rd rebound. Garcia will go over to Wright in the corner. Back over to Garcia, fakes the 3. Now it is Lockermer. Stops at the elbow. It's an air ball from the left side, and Leggett will let that one go out of play. It'll be South basketball. 33-13, 3:01 left here in this second quarter. Just 2 points in the quarter for South. Leggett with the basketball, looking to go down low. Instead, they got a reverse court. Left block, Van Tassel into the lane. Right-hand shot, too strong again. Grabbing the rebound is Howard. Howard, her first rebound tonight. Howard will take the ball to herself. Nobody picks her up until she gets in the lane. Garcia fakes the 3. She does a good job with the fake. She goes all the way on her tippy toes. Skip pass, Wright with the basketball. Jump stop, goes back to Garcia. It's in the corner now. Callie Wright dribbles with the right hand, gets in the lane. Kick out pass to Izzy Wright. Izzy dribbles with the left hand. One sister to another. Instead, down low. Nice pass by Garcia to Lockermer, who lays it in for 2.
Good vision there by Lady Bearcats, spotting the open, at least Lady Bearcat on the inside there. Lockermer, again, another easy basket for the Scottsbluff team.
Largest lead, 22 here. That was as good of a pass as it was. It was a great catch there by Lockermer on the baseball throw by Garcia. In the corner, Tovar down low. Moore on the left block, bounces it right off her own shoe and out of play. It's the 7th turnover for South. With 1:53 left in the half, 35-13 is our score.
Again, it was a 30-point advantage for the JV squad of at least Scottsbluff over Cheyenne South. And we're kind of seeing similarities here on the varsity side of things, unfortunately.
Skip pass, it's up top to Callie Wright. Garcia goes to Izzy. Izzy, baseline, bounce pass down low, good pass, or good help side defense by DeMoss, knocks it out of play, out of the waiting hands of Howard, and Howard will inbound it now for Scottsbluff. Actually, just kidding,
yeah.
It'll be Callie Wright inbounding it for Scottsbluff. They must have heard me and they wanted to switch it up. Wright gets it back. She's in the left corner. She'll put up the 3, and it's missed. The rebound comes down to Scottsbluff. The rebound picked up by Howard, her second one. Callie with the basketball, gets in the lane, puts up the right-hand shot. She's fouled on the way up. As her shot was short, she'll go to the line to shoot 2. The foul's going to be on Andrea, her first.
As DeMoss will pick up her first foul. Team 6 called against Cheyenne South in this first half.
First one on the way. Hits in off the back iron, through the back iron. as Harlan will come in for more. Just a 7-player rotation right now for South, again with Jaya. She's stressed out but has her shooting shirt on, so we'll see if she even comes into the game. Second one on the way for Callie is good, and the largest lead has now been extended to 24 with 1.5 here in the second quarter left. DeMoss for South with the basketball. Left wing Tovar looking to go down low. DeMoss, she'll shoot a left corner three. Nothing but net for Andrea DeMoss. She's got 4. The lead's cut to 21.
And that's a big 3 there for Cheyenne South. Hopefully a bit of at least offensive momentum for them.
Garcia has it at the top. Skip pass over to Howard. Howard with a couple of dribbles and go up back up top to Garcia. We're at the 1-minute mark here in the second quarter. Corner, Callie with the basketball. One extra pass over to her sister Izzy. It's in the corner now. Howard looking to go down low to Lockemer, working on Harlan, but nobody's giving her the basketball as Harlan's doing a good job guarding her down low. Right corner, Howard come back up top as Scottsbluff showing great patience here on this offensive possession. Callie jump stops at the free throw line, kick out to Lockemer. Izzy, corner to Garcia. Yada, she'll drive, jump pass to Howard, deep 2. That one rolls in. So Howard picks up her first 2 points. It's the second assist for Yada Garcia. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, the patience, at least right there by Scottsbluff.
Van Tassel has it on the right block. She's converts with 2. She will go up with it anyway, and it will rattle in. She's got 7. The lead still at 21 with 10 seconds left. Lockemer in the lane, puts up the right-hand shot, hits off the front iron, and rolls through. Lockemer's got 7. The lead's up to 23. 1 second left. Throwing up the half-court shot is DeMoss. It's an air ball, and that will be our final horn of the first half. Scottsbluff 41, South 18. A 2-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE.
If you're looking for fun.
Well, rough go of it for the South High Lady Fightin Bison in that first half as they're down 41-18. It was 19-11 Scottsbluff after the first quarter, and then at the second quarter, Scottsbluff just started taking over, outscoring 22-7. They hit 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 3-pointers, 3 of them by Aubrey Krentz. We talked about her in the pregame. I think Coach Chad DeBryan said she set some record last year in Nebraska for 3-pointers.
Doesn't surprise me of how she's shooting. I mean, the Lady Bearcats right now looking like, you know, the female version of the Splash Brothers. You got the Splash Sisters out there right now with Scottsbluff of how hot they are from behind the arc. Right now, that has been the big difference at Cheyenne South. Unable to put hands up in the faces of the Lady Bearcats on the outside. Denying also, too, easy looks, easy drives on the inside as well, too. Again, defense is just pretty much collapsed for Cheyenne South. And also, too, on the offense for the Lady Fighting Bison. Again, high percentage shots. This is what we saw against Evanston. High percentage, just, again, easy layups, easy putbacks that should be falling through for Cheyenne South. Again, for whatever reason, rushing the shots and not getting them to fall through. Again, big offensive cold spells for Cheyenne South in that first half. Right now, the Lady Fighting Bison are their own worst enemy here tonight against Scottsbluff.
And for South, for Scottsbluff, a lot of their threes, too, are coming in transition. So that means you're not getting back. You're not finding where you need to be and marking the open man as Krentz. Also, Krentz and Garcia, they don't need a lot of space either. They get their shot off in a hurry. As far as Peyton Berta goes, just a freshman and having 2 3-pointers knocked down as well. So this Scottsbluff team, they got freshmen, they got sophomores, they got juniors, they got guards. Everybody that's out there thus far has scored outside of Izzy Wright. Izzy Wright's the only one that has not scored in this game that's been in. So for Scottsbluff, not only are they scoring a lot, but everybody's getting in on it.
Yeah, again, it's a full team effort right there by the Lady Bearcats, and it doesn't surprise, again, a team that's sitting 8-5, who is, again, synonymous with being one of the top programs out there in western Nebraska, throughout even the state of Nebraska, showcasing off their skills here tonight against Cheyenne South. Key thing here for Chad DeBryan's squad as they're in halftime right now, you could only imagine what he's trying to do to kind of pump up his Lady Fighting Bison, but basically it's shake off that first half, play your style of basketball, clean up things a bit, and try to whittle it down, kind of win those small victories before winning the entire battle against this Scottsbluff team. Basically chip away as much as you can, clean up those inside looks that you've had. Again, Cheyenne South so far in that first half, they had plenty of opportunities. It wasn't one-and-done opportunities for Cheyenne South. They were getting offensive rebounds, but just those putbacks, those initial attempts just could not fall. Again, if I'm Chad DeBryan and I'm talking to my, at least Lady Fighting Bison, settle down on those shots.
Well, and for South as well, they got to figure out a way to Jay is either sick or hurt or one way or the other. She was we were told she was going to be starting. She's not starting. Andrea DeMont started for her, and we haven't seen her in yet. So they're on a 7-player rotation right now. They need to figure out a way to get somebody to cut through this zone. No, you don't see anybody driving through this 3-2 zone right now.
Legs that got to be already tired for the Lady Fighting Bison after, again, what was a grueling weekend early on. Again, this is preseason still, so those legs still are going to be a little bit wary compared to when we get to regionals and state tournament, possibly for Cheyenne South. But you got to imagine that this team's a little winded, a little tired, and right now it's kind of showing itself right here tonight on this floor against Scottsbluff.
We'll have our first half stats after this 2-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Here's your first half point totals. First for Scottsbluff, 10 points to lead away by Yara Garcia. She hit 2 3-pointers in that first half. Aubrey Krentz with 9. She hit 3 3-pointers. 7 points for Brady Lockemer. That's off the bench. 6 for Berta, also off the bench. Berta hit 2 3-pointers. Callie Wright with 2 points, and Mariah Avila with 2 points. They had 6 turnovers in that first half. For South, they had 7 points by Riley Van Tassel, 4 for Damas, 3 for Rainier Tovar, 2 for Callista Martin, and 2 for Reagan Moore. For Reagan Moore, she was the only one that had scored off the bench. Of course, they're only bringing in Moore and Harlan off the bench, so not a lot of bench scoring opportunities. About a minute and a half left until we'll start the third quarter, so we'll take our final 1-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. To start the third quarter here at Fightin Bison Gymnasium against South, down to Scottsbluff 41-18. South will now be going left to right across your radio dial or computer screen, or however you may be watching with us. Of course, you got YouTube and Periscope via Twitter. Of course, 1480 KRAE.com. You can listen live online there. Of course, if you can listen to it online, you might as well watch it online because the video quality is amazing. Plus, you got some sweet graphics as well. Yeah, without a doubt. As we get underway, at least with our second half here, again, third quarter between these two teams. Coming up after this game, we will have boys action between Scottsbluff and Cheyenne South immediately. Krentz will pull from 3 on the right side, hits off the front iron. Avila grabs it and saves it to Lockemer. Good hustle by Avila, and then we're going to have a jump ball. South will have the timeout called before anything else, a 30-second timeout. We'll just keep it right here with the Bearcats. They're going to start with their starting 5. Avila, Izzy Wright, Yada Garcia, Krentz, and not their starting 5 because Emma Foote is out because she got hurt. It will be Brady Lockemer, who had grabbed that nice play from Avila, who just saved it. South will start with their starting 5. Callista Martinez, Angie Leggett, Rainier Tovar, Riley Van Tassel, and Andrea Damas. Scottsbluff with the basketball on the timeout called by Coach Bolish. His first timeout called in the matchup as South will come out. Looks to be in a 2-3 zone as Lockemer will inbound it. Inbound comes into Garcia, puts up the shot. Good defense by Van Tassel, who got the block. It's on the floor. Leggett grabs it. Now needs someone to come to her. Martinez does. Damas in transition. They look to run the floor. Damas gets into the lane, puts up the right-hand shot. Too strong. Lockemer grabs the rebound for Scottsbluff. Heads up to Yada Garcia, who runs the floor and lays it in for 2. Game-high 12. It's also a game-high lead of 25. As you can tell, Scottsbluff has the fresher legs compared to Cheyenne South, sprinting down at least that open, at least look there. Damas has to save it from going out of play. Van Tassel has it on the corner. Martinez will put up a deep 2. Fadeaway J rattles in for 2. She's got 4. Lead back to 23 with 7:03 left on the Pepsi scoreboard. Krentz with the basketball. 2 dribbles. Well, come up top to Garcia. It's Izzy Wright with the basketball. Tape on that left hand. Gets into the corner. Now bounce pass down low in the opposite corner of Villa. Gets into the lane. Nice step through move. Left hand lane is good by Mariah Avila. Lead back up to 25. Martinez across the timeline. Stops high on the right side. Straight away. Leggett, who has not attempted a shot yet. Goes Tovar left wing. Tovar Looks down low. Instead, will go to DeMoss. Fakes the shot. Martinez, she'll take it from the right side. That one rattles in and out, and she's fouled by Aubrey Krentz. And Callista Martinez will go to the line to shoot three, and I can read the lips of Aubrey Krentz as she says she flopped.
Yeah, Krentz, though, however, will pick up that second foul. First team foul called against Scottsbluff.
And they're going to say it actually was after she had released the ball, so will not be shooting three. She's going to be also come out, Will Martinez, as she comes up limping, so that's not a very good sign for Coach DeBryan, who's already short-staffed. Inbound pass comes to Harlan. It's a tie-up with her and Lockemer. It's going to be Scottsbluff basketball.
Actually, it's going to stay with
that's
Cheyenne
right, because
South.
they called the timeout. So Leggett will have the basketball, inbound it to Tovar. Tovar with the right-hand dribble once, then picks it up, goes over to DeMoss, who has to run it down right in front of the scoring table. Now she'll start her dribble. Goes to Tovar on the left side. Leggett has the basketball, fakes the pass down low, and they'll reverse court on the perimeter. DeMoss stops in the lane, goes over to Tovar. Tovar, she does the same exact thing. Now left side, Leggett. So they try to overload one side, but they can't get the ball down low. Skip past Leggett inside the lane. Comes up top, Tovar as they work the perimeter, try to go down low. Bad pass, stolen away by Garcia.
Another turnover by the Lady Fightin Bison.
Garcia picks up her second steal in transition. Avila gets in the lane. Nice bounce pass. Blocked, though, by Leggett. And the loose ball comes to Avila. Krentz throws the three up. It's blocked, and Leggett says, get out. To Van Tassel, dribbles through one. Goes to the lane, left hand, rolls in and out, and the rebound comes to Garcia.
Again, rushing the shots, getting it to not fall through.
Avila across the timeline, stops on the left block. Kick out, kiss stolen away by Leggett. Leggett starting to show some fire on the defensive end. They need to turn it into buckets, though. Harlan has it, short corner, comes up top. DeMoss fakes the shot. Leggett, she won't take it. Tovar, she'll take it. It's going to be a bank shot off the left iron. Tassel grabs the offensive rebound, almost like a pseudo pass to Harlan, who lays it in for two off the miss. And a timeout called by Coach Chad DeBryan. It's a full one. We'll take one as well, a 1 minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Good sign for Coach Chad DeBryan in South as Callista Martinez has checked back in the game. She's with Harlan, Tovar, Van Tassel, and DeMoss. Scottsbluff has Krentz, Garcia, Avila, Lockemer, and Izzy Wright out on the floor. It will be Scottsbluff basketball, full court pressure now for South.
The unfortunate thing, though, for Scottsbluff, what they also do have right now is a 23-point lead against Cheyenne South here with 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Garcia gets it across the timeline, dribbles with the left hand, spin move. Now she'll stop at the top and kick it out to Avila on the wing. Now back, right block. Garcia goes up and fouled by Tovar, who doesn't go straight up. The shot was a bit too strong. Garcia will go to the line to shoot two.
So Tovar will pick up that foul. Team's first called against Cheyenne South for her. That'll be her second foul.
Garcia, as far as Scottsbluff goes, this will be attempt number 5 and 6, and she hits her first one. They're now 4 of 5 to start here tonight. Not a lot of stats you can find online as far as Scottsbluff, just scores. So not sure as far as how they shoot or anything like that as Garcia misses the second one, but then Izzy Wright grabs the rebound. Kick out, Krentz open, left corner, got it. Her fourth three-pointer.
You give them just a little bit of spacing, they're going to burn you, but that one was pretty much a mile wide.
Nice step-through move by Martinez on the other side. Her Euro step bucket for 2. Lead to 25 after it was once a 27-point lead. 4:25 left on the Pepsi scoreboard. Avila got away with the travel. Krentz step back. She'll put up another 3, hits short off the iron, and Wright grabs the rebound. Avila gets in the lane, jump stop, goes to Garcia. She'll pull from the left wing. Got it. Cash money. Her third three-ball hit. Lead up to 28.
Not missing a beat from the first half from behind the arc.
Harlan with the basketball. Tovar on the left wing. Up top, DeMoss with it. Looking to go down low. High screen for Martinez, who will put up the three ball. Hits off the right iron. Garcia grabs the one-handed rebound. If you didn't know any better, you think Scottsbluff's been shooting this gym all year. As Lockemer down the other side, it's actually Berta who lays it in for 2 and 1. Great pass by Garcia, who will pick up her third assist.
As Martinez will pick up that foul for Cheyenne South. It's going to be a second team foul called against Lady Fightin Bison here.
Moore and just Moore, as Martinez, again, her third foul. Only Moore will come in for Scottsbluff, Emma Herman.
Is now a 30-point advantage and make it 31 for Scottsbluff here.
Berta knocks in the and one. It's 31, as Nick said, with 3:40 left on the Pepsi scoreboard in the third quarter. Martinez has the basketball, goes to Moore on the right block, puts up the shot. She's fouled on the way up by Garcia after it hits off the right iron and falls. Garcia picks up her very first foul, and Moore will go to the line to shoot 2.
Team second called against Scottsbluff here in the third quarter. Do want to at least remind folks, as it is a 31-point advantage right now for the Lady Bearcats. 40-point is the magical number for a running clock in high school basketball.
Moore just 14% on, or 13% from the free throw line on the season, is well short on the first. As we'll see Taylon Holton, a senior forward, come in for the first time for Scottsbluff. Second one rattles in as she goes 1 for 2 at the line. And for Moore, she's got 3 points. The lead's at 30 exactly for Scottsbluff. Garcia with the basketball. Head fake, now drives past Martinez, gets in the lane, skip pass over. Berta from the left corner, rattles home her third three-ball hit, as this team is just throwing on a three parade, and they're up 33. Three's wild here at the Fightin Bison Gymnasium. Krentz comes up with the steal. Krentz going coast to coast, lays it in with the right hand for 2. Her first time bucket inside the three-point line.
As this game is now well out of hand for Cheyenne South, unfortunately, as it's approaching that 40-point at least margin.
35-point lead now. Martinez has it, almost taken again by Krentz. Good job by Martinez to regather herself, lays it in for 2. She's got 8, and a timeout called by Coach Chad DeBryan. A 30-second timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Well, 60-27. It's a 33-point lead for Scottsbluff, and it's been the three ball that's been the difference. They've already hit 3 here in this third quarter.
Yeah, again, for Cheyenne South, we're getting beat on at least positioning on the defensive end, basically allowing any spacing on the arc for Scottsbluff. They're going to burn you no matter what it looks like here tonight.
Holton with the basketball, bounce pass down low. Herman back up top left corner. Krentz misses the shot, but it comes to Holton, and Martinez blocks Garcia's shot. She'll put up another three ball, and it's an air ball. Krentz has it from 5, rattles in. So unfortunate for there, as they did a good job getting hands on the ball, but then couldn't do anything else, as Krentz will be called for a hand check, her third. And Martinez trying to push the tempo.
Her third, team's third, called against Scottsbluff here in this third quarter. We're going to see substitutions in for Lady Bearcats.
Freshman number 22, Anna Kelly, will come in, as well as a sophomore, another freshman. It's going to be number 23, Sabrina Harsh. Martinez knocks down the 3 as she's starting to feel it here in this third quarter. She's got 9 in the quarter, but they're still down 32.
Need a little bit more of that 3 ball from Cheyenne South in some defensive stops here.
In the corner, Berta has it go right out of her hands and out of play. So a rare turnover here for Scottsbluff.
But
and South will have a basketball again.
Yeah, a chance for the Lady Fighting Bison. You got to cash in on these opportunities.
Martinez has it on the left wing. It's back up top to Harlan. Dribbles with the left hand, stops at the elbow. Will now come back up top. Leggett way up high, goes to Martinez, open for three again. It's going to be an air ball right into the lap of Berta. Berta picks up her third rebound. Here they come across the timeline to Scottsbluff, up 32 with 1:40 left. In the lane, bounce pass, Holden deep from the left corner. It rattles off the hands of Harsh and comes to Martinez. Harlan in transition, stops, skip past the Leggett, gets into the lane, puts up the right-hand floater, too strong. Martinez grabs the offensive rebound and rattles it home. Make that 11 in the quarter now for Martinez, and a 30-second timeout called by Coach Balish. We'll take a 30-second timeout as well, 62-32 in favor of Scottsbluff right here on 1480 KRAE. .30 lead for Scottsbluff. They've had it as many as 35 here in this third quarter. Callista Martinez, though, doing everything she can to keep South as close as possible as she takes a seat on the bench. She has 11 points in the quarter. With the basketball, it's Berta for Scottsbluff. Berta, Holton, Harsh. It is Kelly and Herman as they go deep to the bench does Scottsbluff. Berta on the right block, got away with the travel. Herman fakes the three, comes up top to Holton. And now left wing three by Kelly, rattles in and out, and Van Tassel will grab the rebound.
It was so close to fall through once again for Scottsbluff, but thankfully rimmed out.
DeMoss on the right wing will come up top. Leggett fakes, goes over to the left wing, down low. It is Moore with the basketball who checks in. DeMoss on the skip pass. On the right wing goes to Van Tassel. Too many players around her. She instead goes baseline. Too strong on the shot. Moore grabs the offensive rebound and will be pushed down to the ground by Harsh.
14th foul call against the Lady Bearcats here in this quarter for Harsh. I do believe it will be her first.
It is her first. And it will be Van Tassel to inbound and underneath. Leggett grabs it. Posting up is Van Tassel, spins towards the middle of the floor, lays it in with the right hand. Van Tassel with 9. The lead's cut to 28.
As Cheyenne South making a little bit of a run here, trying to chip away at the large lead.
At this point, you're playing for pride, and you want to see Coach Ballas bring his starters back in because you're cutting it too close. Holton with the basketball up top. 15 seconds left here in this third quarter on a Pepsi scoreboard. Holton stops at the free throw line. Bounce pass. That's Holton, I beg your pardon. And Harsh grabs the offensive rebound as it was short and plays it in for 2. Sabrina Harsh with the 2-pointer off the rebound. 1 second left. DeMoss can't get a half-court shot off in time. It's a 30-point lead for Scottsbluff. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Have the fourth quarter right after this on 1480 KRAE. Callie Wright, Garcia, Berta Lockemer. It is Howard and Krentz back into the game for Scottsbluff. Martinez, Van Tassel, Moore, and Leggett to start the quarter as Garcia goes in the lane, and Martinez will foul her on the way up. So Garcia will go to the line to shoot 2 as Martinez picks up her 4th foul.
Her 4th, team's 3rd, called against Cheyenne South, where right now, again, we stand here in the 4th quarter. Scottsbluff as of right now up 64-34 over Cheyenne South.
Garcia hits her first one. Went 1 for 2 the last time at the line as Tovar will come in for Martinez.
As this game has been primarily controlled, at least around by Scottsbluff, Cheyenne South did have an early lead early on in the first quarter.
Their largest lead was at 8-2 as Garcia misses the second, but grabbing the rebound was Howard, and then gives it over to Krench, who knocks it in from deep. It's a broken record as far as 3 balls for Scottsbluff. Feel like every time they come down the floor, that's exactly what I'm saying. Leggett, right corner, doesn't take the 3, gets into the lane. Skip pass over. DeMoss will shoot the left corner 3. It's short, and the rebound comes to Callie Wright.
Well, and the issue as well for Cheyenne South on the defensive side is you know that Scottsbluff is going to attempt those 3. You got to put some pressure on that arc.
It's nice steal by DeMoss, reading the eyes of Garcia. That's their 10th turnover. Now DeMoss trying to go coast to coast, throws up the wild shot, but she'll be fouled by Krentz. Krentz will pick up her 4th as DeMoss will go to the line to shoot 2.
Her 4th, team's 5th, call against Scottsbluff here in the second half.
68-34. Scottsbluff's largest lead has been 35 as DeMoss misses her first free throw, rattles in and out. 7:10 left here in the 4th quarter on our Pepsi scoreboard. It looked promising early for South. They actually had the lead for most of the first quarter. It was until the 2-minute mark that Scottsbluff took over as DeMoss misses both and Howard grabs her 4th rebound. Garcia has the basketball, dribbles with the right hand. Now we'll slow it down and set the offense up. Gets into the lane, stops at the elbow, kick out to Lockemer. Kick up to Howard. Back to Garcia, who'll slow it down after straightening out her hair a little bit. Krentz with the left-hand dribble goes into the corner, and we have a offensive foul, an illegal screen, I believe, by Lockemer. So South will get the basketball back.
16th foul call against the Lady Bearcats. And again, Lockemer, at least she will pick up that foul, her 2nd. Do want to remind folks coming up immediately after this contest, we will have boys action between the Bearcats of Scottsbluff and Cheyenne South Fightin Bison. And looking forward to that matchup here at Fightin Bison Gymnasium.
At the elbow, wide open is Moore. She'll kick it up top to DeMoss, right corner. Oh, that looked like it was going to go to right corner to Van Tassel. Instead, Tovar reverse courts. Leggett has it. DeMoss on the right wing, looking down low, give it to Moore, kick out, Van Tassel. She'll put up the 3 ball. It's long, and Garcia grabs another rebound, her 6th, and a whistle. It's a jump ball. Good job by South to dig in, as we'll see a couple more substitutions. Sabrina Harsh and Anna Kelly will come in for Scottsbluff. Garcia and Krentz will come out.
As Cheyenne South on that jump ball will keep the possession on their own offensive side.
Tovar has it in the corner, dribbles once, picks it up, gives it to Leggett. Looking down low, calling for it is Van Tassel. She's doubled. She'll spin to the right side, put up the right-hand shot, hits the right, left, and backboard iron, but doesn't fall through the hoop, as grabbing the rebound is Howard for the 5th time. Howard gets it back on the left wing, fakes the 3, will go to the corner. Kelly with the basketball, dribble swice with the right hand, comes up top. Lockemer will reverse court to Callie Wright. Harshman, kick out, left wing 3 by Howard is short. Grabbing the rebound is Lockemer, and then a foul called by Van Tassel.
As Riley Van Tassel will pick up her first foul, team's 4th against Cheyenne South. Where for the Lady Fightin Bison, as it's well out of hand again with 5:48 remaining, they're going to fall to 3-7 overall.
Herman will check in for Scottsbluff. It's in the corner. Howard will put up the 3, rattles in, rattles out, and Herman grabs the offensive rebound. Goes back up with it as Scottsbluff. Harsh, she grabs the offensive rebound now, her 2nd rebound of the night. Kelly with the basketball with 5.5 left on the Pepsi scoreboard here in the 4th quarter. Leggett, too much contact on Howard. And for Angie Leggett, she'll pick up her 1st.
Her first, team's 5th, called against the Lady Fightin Bison in this half.
And as you said earlier, believe it was when we were off air, some Central basketball players. We saw a couple of the girls players. Now you can see the very easily to pick out Storbo twins that are now going to be here to maybe do a little scouting, as Scottsbluff will be at the field house on Saturday.
And scouting both teams as well, because Central will be seeing twice Cheyenne South, at least this season.
Herman, left wing three, rattles in and out again, but grabbing the rebound is Howard, who lays it in for two. She's got 4 points. Leggett with the basketball. 5 minutes left, 70-34, 36-point lead. It's been as high as 37. Harlan, bounce pass down low, Moore on the block, dribbles it off her foot, now to play.
With this win for Scottsbluff, the Lady Bearcats, they're going to advance on to 9-5 overall. As I mentioned with Cheyenne South, they're going to fall to 3-7 on the 2019-2020 campaign.
With the basketball is Callie Wright. Way up high will force Leggett to come out and play her. Dribbles with the left hand in the corner as South in their man will allow Scottsbluff to run a set, and they'll run all the way through, it looks like. Kelly at the top. Harlan has to come up top just to get a count started, but still too much space for a count to start. With the basketball, goes to the right side, gets into the block, then steps back. Harsh has it up top. Right, now left corner, long two by Howard. It's short, and Leggett grabs the rebound for South. It's long pass, Martinez, nice catch over the shoulder. Nice stop and lay in with the right side, using the body as a shield over the shot block attempt of Sabrina Harsh. She's got 13 points in this second half, 11 of them coming in the third quarter. 70-36, the lead. 34-point lead now for Scottsbluff. In the corner, Callie with the basketball. Jab step will come up top to right. They'll reverse court. Left side, Kelly down low on that left block. Bounce pass, Harshman, one dribble, bank shot off the left iron, too strong. Howard grabs the offensive rebound.
Scottsbluff right now just playing keep away, trying to kill some time off the clock.
Leggett gets a hand on it, goes off the music stand over there. We'll have a timeout. It will be a timeout, Scottsbluff, of full timeout, it looks like. We'll take a 1-minute timeout as well. You're watching and listening to high school basketball on 1480 KRAE. Berta to inbound it for Scottsbluff as they're up 70-36 with 3:33 left against South in our first of two matchup. We'll have the boys game right after this. Deep three by Berta, hits off the right iron. Grabbing the rebound is Holton, too strong on the putback. DeMoss grabs the rebound to retire that possession. DeMoss trying to go coast to coast, too strong on the lay-in. Holton grabs her third rebound and then has it stolen away on the pass. Tovar from 5 rattles in and out. DeMoss feisty. Andrea there, she ties it up, and it will be Scottsbluff basketball. We'll see a substitution for South. It will be number 5, Darcy Dibbert, coming in for the Lady Fightin Bison.
How many times have we noticed for Cheyenne South, again, easy point-blank shots just do not fall for this team. That has been the biggest Achilles heel for Lady Fightin Bison this season.
Kelly behind the back dribble, comes up top. Howard will reverse court. Holton in the corner with the basketball will be Berta. Almost lost the handle. Left wing three is off the back iron. Grabbing the rebound, Holton. She'll put it back right away. Too strong. Grabbing the offensive rebound again is Howard, who's got 8 rebounds, and she'll be fouled on the way up. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yes, they're going to call that 16th foul. Looks like they're going to call that against Cheyenne South for Palmero.
So Lexi Palermo, a junior, will check in as well.
There's the first one there made by Scottsbluff, 71-36 right now.
Howard's second one on the way. She goes 2 for 2 as she didn't even touch the rim on that one. 36-point lead for Scottsbluff Another substitution coming in. Faith Ritter checks in as it looks like the team that had just got done playing is back out on there on the floor for South. Tovar, left hand, big shot rattles in. Tovar picks up her first bucket since the first quarter. Also in is Grace Cahill. She's on the right, guarding Harshman on the right elbow. Up top, Berta straight away. Dribbles down low, jump stop, bounce pass to Kelly. Up top, it is Howard with the basketball. Right wing, right corner, Berta. Dribbles a couple of times, now behind the back. We'll slow it down with 2:05 left on the Pepsi scoreboard. Bounce pass in the corner, Kelly with the basketball. Scottsbluff is content with looking for one really good shot. Howard will take it. It's short, and the rebound comes to Holton.
Even on a rough, at least, rebound attempt there, Scottsbluff coming away with it.
Kelly trying to drive, puts up the shot, too strong, but she's fouled on the way up. So now it will be Kelly that will go to the line to shoot two.
See who the foul is going to be against. It's going to be 17 foul called against Cheyenne South. Looks like they're going to call that against Tovar, so she'll pick up her third. So Scottsbluff in the bonus for the remainder of this contest as well.
Kelly hits her first. This team's been well-rounded. They have a suffocating 3-2 zone that we saw for the most part in that first half, and then their offense, well, they have 74 points as Kelly hits the second one. It speaks for itself.
All I got to say is Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central, you better be prepared for this team.
Howard just steals it away from Tovar. We'll go stealing two for Jasmine Howard, who's got 6 in the quarter and 8 in the game.
Largest lead now for the Lady Bearcats at 38.
It's up top with the basketball is Palermo. Now it's in the corner. Tovar looking to go down low to Cahill. She gets the basketball on the right block, kicks it back up top. Ritter goes to the corner, bounce pass down low. One dribble, taken away. Tovar able to grab the loose ball. Cahill has a short corner. Bounce pass is now they're just collapsing to the hoop. Left-hand shot, back iron, and then grabbed by Palermo. Goes up with a shot. She's fouled on the way up by Harsh.
That will be the 17th foul called against Scottsbluff. So both teams in the bonus. As you mentioned with Harsh picking up that foul, that'll be her second.
Harsh, 2 hard dribbles to the floor. Will throw up the right-hand free throw attempt. Bank shot, rattles in and out.
There's pretty much fouls and bonus opportunities right now. A mute point with 59.2 seconds remaining. And Scottsbluff up by 38 right now.
Bank shot, that time falls in for Palermo. She picks up her first point. I would say it's safe to say it's her first varsity point in her career. Berta with the basketball, gets in the lane, bounce pass to Howard in the corner. Kelly, she'll jack it up from 3. Hits hard off the left iron, and grabbing the rebounds Tovar, and she'll be fouled.
That's going to be the 18th foul against the Lady Bearcats, so shooting time.
1-1 for Tovar with 47.4 left, 76-39. Scottsbluff with the lead. They will not win this game with the lead wire to wire though, as South did have a first quarter lead.
Foul was called against Anna Kelly. That was her first.
Tovar knocks in her first free throw, just 25% on the season. Knocks in her first, earns herself a second opportunity. It's on the way. And she goes 2 for 2 as that one rolls in through the front iron. She's got 7 points. It's a 35-point lead with 44 seconds. Howard quickly down the side, short on the attempt from 5. Tovar grabs the rebound. Tovar to the left side. They jump stop. She gets it back. Tovar, 2 dribbles, bounce pass down low. Turnaround jumper is 2 off the left iron. It was Ritter on the Palermo with the jumper. It's going to be last touch as it goes out of play by South, and Scottsbluff will have the basketball with 27 seconds left and see if they try to just dribble it out here. Kelly will get it across the timeline for the Bearcats, slow it down, dribbles with the left hand, loses the handle up top. Holton has the basketball. Skip pass down low, Berta, extra pass to Howard, lays it in for 2. Good ball movement right there by Scottsbluff.
Good ball movement, but kind of an unnecessary play by the Lady Bearcats.
Got to play defense still. Kelly across the timeline, goes to Howard, 3 seconds left, goes over to Berta. Now that's definitely unnecessary. She lays it in at the horn for 2 points. It's a final score of 80-41. Scottsbluff with the 39-point victory here. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll have our final comments and stats from this 80-41 winner for the Lady Bearcats. A 2-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE.
If you're looking for fun and adventure, Kia of Cheyenne is the place to start, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will help you find it. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will give you what you need to make things happen. This vehicle has plenty of power, all-season traction, safety features, technology, and comfort for any road you're on. The Kia Sorento offers plenty of standard features for the money, and we're all about saving you money. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
$80-41 in our first matchup here tonight. The Lady Fightin Bison fall to 3-7 on the season. For Scottsbluff, the Lady Bearcats will move to 9-5. The next time the Fightin Bison will be in action will actually be against East at Story Gymnasium. That will be next week. Next week they'll open up quad play. They'll start with East and Central, I believe, as they'll work that side of the two with the quadrant, as Central and East are kind of travel partners.
Yeah.
South and Laramie are the travel partners that way. Scottsbluff, they'll still have 2 more games this week. They'll go to East and play at the Thunderdome on Friday, and then turn around and play the very next night at the Fieldhouse against Central.
And those games are going to be absolute barn burners between the Lady Indians and Lady Bearcats, or either the Lady Thunderbirds and the Lady Bearcats of Scottsbluff. Again, as I alluded to and I talked about it in the waning moments of this contest between Cheyenne South and Scottsbluff, if you're head coach Eric Wesley and if you're head coach Glenn Kirkbride for Cheyenne Central, come prepared. Realize that you're going to be hosting a team that is hungry, not afraid to play here in the city of Cheyenne, but a team that can hit pretty decent. Even with a little bit of spacing from behind the arc, can be very aggressive on the inside, find those moves on the inside, and pretty much shut down on defense against Cheyenne South here tonight. So, again, those are going to be interesting matchups coming up at least throughout this week between Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central as they take on Scottsbluff.
We'll take a look at our final stats here before I have to head downstairs and grab some starters. We'll start with Scottsbluff. Yada Garcia led the way, Aubrey Krentz led the way. She hit 5 threes and ended with 19 points. Yada Garcia had 17 points. 10 points for Jamison Howard, 14 for Peyton Berta. 2 of them coming in that buzzer beater in the fourth quarter that was much needed. 7 points for Brady Lockmer, 2 points for Harsh, 3 for Herman, 2 for Kelly, 4 for Avila, 2 for Callie Wright. For South, it was 15 for Callista Martinez, 7 for Raina Tovar, 3 for Reagan Moore, 9 for Van Tassel, 2 for Harlan, and 4 points for Andrea Damas, and Lexi Palermo added with 1 point as well. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll get you set up here for our second game with the South High Fightin Bison against the Scottsbluff Bearcats after this 2-minute timeout on 1480 KRAE.
College. It's filled with classrooms, instructors, and exams. But beyond that, it's filled with curiosity. budding friendships, insightful conversations, and so many opportunities. There will be people like you, and you, and you. You'll work, you'll play, you'll struggle, and you'll succeed. But when you allow yourself to pursue your dreams, you'll learn what you're truly made of.
Welcome back to Cheyenne South here on the campus. Again, Fightin Bison Gymnasium as we get set up for boys action here between Scottsbluff and Cheyenne South. Again, recapping from our girls contest, it was a final of 80-41 advantage Scottsbluff. Do want to take this opportunity right now to thank some of our fine sports sponsors. I want to thank Arrow Moving and Storage, B&B Appliance and TV, Baskin Robbins of LCCC Flight Crew, Bread Basket Bakery, Burns Insurance Company, Capital Lumber Company, Charles Schwab, Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, Chick-fil-A, Fat Boys Tire and Auto, First Education Federal Credit Union, Foot of the Rockies, Halliday Motors, High West Energy, Joy-Ed Produce, Kia of Cheyenne, LCCC, and do want to remind folks with LCCC, again, men's and women's basketball happening this Thursday and Saturday as we will be on the road. Thursday's contest up in Riverton, taking on Central Wyoming. 5:30 and 7:30 are the start times. Women up first, men up second. And then Saturday's contest with LCCC, they will be in Sheridan, taking on Sheridan College, the Lady Generals and Generals. That is 2 and 4 o'clock up there in Sheridan, Wyoming. Also, do want to thank Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, the Injury Prevention Center, MHP, Lennox Auto Body, Little Philly, Mary's Mountain Cookies, Medicap Pharmacy, Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Page and Zach Lane at Number One Properties, Pepsi of Cheyenne, sponsoring our Pepsi scoreboard, Platte Valley Bank, Taco John's, the Gill Window Company, YDOT, and also to Cheyenne Urological. What we're going to do right now is take another 2-minute timeout. Chris has got the starters for both Scottsbluff and Cheyenne South, and we'll get into that as we get started for boys action here at Cheyenne South. Back after this 2-minute timeout here on 1480 KRAE.
Back inside the Fightin Bison Gymnasium as the band across from us is here in full force tonight. As for South, they're coming in at a record of, we said 6-3, right? It's 6-3.
They're 6-3,
and then Scottsbluff is 11-1 on the season. Let's take you through head coach Scott Goulian's Scottsbluff team and his starting lineup. It'll be senior guard number 13, Josiah Dulles. Senior guard number 22, Jack Darnell. Senior guard number 24, Chance Parker. Junior guard number 25, Dawson Moore. Senior forward number 50, Sam Clarkson, listed at 6'6", and he may have been one of the star offensive linemen on that team that finished runner-up at state.
He had to be, without a doubt, again, for the Scottsbluff team. You look up and down this floor, again, kind of that stereotypical Nebraska corn-fed group out there where, again, they are tall, but also, too, they got that wide built body where, again, they're going to muscle their way on the inside against Cheyenne South. We'll see how the Fightin Bison at least respond to a lot of this size and length that Scottsbluff is putting out on the court here tonight.
They do score 65 points a game. They give up 49 points to their opponents, so a team that wins and wins convincingly. We'll take our final 1-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the starting lineup for Coach Bailey and the South High Fightin Bison right here on 1480 KRAE. Here is the starting lineup for Coach Bailey and the South High Fightin Bison. It'll be their senior guard number 1, Cameron Bird, averaging 20 points a game. Sophomore guard number 3, Leandre Ray, 9 points a game. Junior guard number 4, Jane Cummins, 6.5 points. Senior guard number 10, Kevin Bell, 9 points a game. And then their big senior forward, number 24, Hunter Scott. Hunter Scott, again, is their main big, standing at 6'2". Kevin Bell's at 6'2" as well. But when you look at Scottsbluff roster, Chance Parker, he's 6'6", and he plays a guard/forward position. Sam Clarkson, 6'6". He's their main big. They have 6'3", James Bruner coming off the bench, 6'2", Trevor Schwartz, 6'4", Sebastian Harsh. These are all guys that'll be you'll see at some point in this game.
Yeah, again, as we talk about Scottsbluff, clearly going to have the height advantage. See what South responds with of trying to at least either rush those bigs, again, try to be a little bit speedy, get them to kind of tire themselves out, but also, too, what is the situation with Cheyenne South? Again, going 2-1 over the Taco John's Invitational this past weekend, but again, they played Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You wonder if those legs might be a little bit weary heading into this contest, as what we just saw with the girls' contest, especially with the Lady Fightin Bison. What is the shape? What is the, at least, overall health, so to speak, for Cheyenne South heading into this one against a very talented Scottsbluff team that's, as you mentioned, 11-1 on the season.
South will be in their home whites with the black numbers going right to left on your radio dial computer screen as Bird takes the tip and decides to just concede it as Scottsbluff in their road whites, white numbers. We'll start with the basketball. Diolos with the basketball goes right corner, down low. There's their big man Clarkson. He'll be fouled on the floor by Hunter Scott, so a quick foul to start things off here.
As you mentioned, Scott picking up that foul, his team's first called against Cheyenne South here early on.
Scottsbluff will inbound and underneath the basket. It is Moore, and it's stolen away by Cameron Bird, the first turnover for Scottsbluff. Going coast to coast is Ray. Bell grabs the offensive rebound on the Ray miss, and then it's taken away by Darnell. So both teams will start with a turnover. 3-ball put up by Diolis is nothing but nets. The first bucket of the game is scored by the Bearcats, 3-0 the score.
So a team that's going to be aggressive on the inside, but just they're a statement shot of saying we can hit from the outside too.
Yeah, kind of similar to what we saw in the women's game. Leandre Ray with the basketball. Cummings gets into the lane, goes with the right-hand floater, too strong, rebound. It'll come out to Bird. It's an offensive opportunity. He'll put up a right corner three, hits off the back iron. Bell grabs another offensive rebound, puts it up. The bank shot too strong. Grabbing the rebound is Chance Parker. Scottsbluff with the basketball up 3-0. Dulles gets into the lane, puts up the right-hand floater. He rolls it in through the front iron. He's got all 5 points to start off here tonight.
5-0 run to start out this contest right now for the Bearcats.
Bird head tap, calling out the play, goes to Scott at the top. Looking for a backdoor cut in Cummings. Instead goes right wing to Bird, high screen and roll. Nothing there, though, as it's defended perfectly by Scottsbluff in this man defense. Cummings on the cut. Scott will put up the long three. It's an air ball, and Parker grabs the rebound, his second one. Here comes Scottsbluff in transition. Dulles gets in the lane, puts up the right-hand floater again, and rolls it in for two. It's a quick 7 points as he just abused Jaden Cummings right by him. It's a 30-second timeout called by Coach Bailey. We'll take one as well right here on 1480 KRAE. Scottsbluff will come out in full court pressure as Marcus, I just drew a blank on the last name. Manzanares will check in. Bird with the basketball. Manzanares comes in for Leandre Ray. Bounce pass off the feet of Cummings. He's able to hang on to it. Goes over to Scott. Scott loses the handle. Kick out. Bell, he'll shoot from the right corner. Rattles in and then rattle in, out, and then back in. A big shot there knocked by Kevin Bell as he gets the first points.
That'll end that 7-0 run to start out this contest by Scottsbluff. We're going to have a steal here by Bird.
Almost a steal as it goes out of play, and it's going to be last touched by Scottsbluff, and nobody likes it on the floor from the south side.
An argument of basically saying how is Scottsbluff coming away with that basketball if not getting the foul.
7 points for Scottsbluff, all scored by Diolas, who has the basketball down low. Clarkson, right hand, quick shot, rattles home. His first 2 points as he works around Hunter Scott, who's got one foul. 9-3 the score with 5.5 on the Pepsi scoreboard here in this first quarter.
Well, Clarkson also too using that 6'6" at least body, using the height advantage.
Manzanares goes to the corner. Bird traveled. Second turnover for South.
And this is a team against Scottsbluff for Cheyenne South. You can't afford many turnovers. They're going to make you pay.
Full court pressure for South. Dolos with the basketball gets it across the timeline without an issue by throwing it to Darnell. Left corner three for Moore is off the mark. Rebound is batted out by Clarkson. Another opportunity. Clarkson mishandled the pass, stolen away by Cummings. Cummings picks up his first steal. Young man that averages 1.5 a game. With the basketball, Bird dribbles between his legs as Moore's playing defense up high on him. Goes to Bell on the left side, the only scorer for South thus far, a three ball. Mascanares puts up the three and knocks it down. Marcus Manzanares.
Back-to-back big-time threes for Cheyenne South here.
Moore into lanes. Clarkson left all by himself, and he lays it in for two as they couldn't get back on defense quick enough. Did South. 11-6 the score. Manzanares with the basketball, sizing up Diolas. Will pass it off to the right side to Bell. Couple of dribbles with the left hand, picks it up, goes over to Bird on the right side. Bird looking down low for Scott. Gets a jab step on Darnell, now gets in the lane, drive and dish to Scott with the one-hand, right-hand dribble. It's taken away by Diolas, and a foul. Or no, it's knocked out of play by South, and it's going to say last touch by Scottsbluff. So both teams a couple of turnovers. Maureen Alexander and Michael Mascanares will come in for the Fightin Bison. Checking in for the first time will be number 1, I believe, Quentin Scott. It's either number 1, Quentin Scott for Scottsbluff. 11-6, 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Alexander had the pass batted away. He's able to run it down, though, and regain possession. Mascaneris with the basketball. Nobody picks him up. He'll shoot it from three. It's off the front iron. Clarkson grabs his second rebound. Hits Diolis in transition. Draws some contact and will roll it in with the right hand. He's got 9 here in the quarter. 13-6 the score.
Now a 7-point advantage for the Bearcats as this offense, again, very high powered.
Bird, deep three. Got it through the front iron. So it's 3 balls for South and a quick timeout called by Coach Bailey. It's a full timeout called by Bailey. We'll take a 1-minute timeout as well on 1480 KRAE. To 9, Scottsbluff with the lead, 3:32 left here in this first quarter. Some more substitutions for Scottsbluff as we'll see Sebastian Harsh come in for the first time to spill Clarkson. Out of that Coach Bailey timeout is now called 2 timeouts. Moore for 3, rattles in and out, grabbing the rebound is Parker, then taken away by Cameron Bird. He has it almost taken away. Alexander will be fouled by Moore, who tried to dive to the floor to grab the basketball.
And that's going to be called against Moore, as you mentioned, his first foul. Team's first called against the Bearcats here in this first quarter.
Already the second still for Cameron Bird. As South, it's been rocky as Leandre Ray will come in for Cummings. And it is with Mascarenas, Alexander, Bell, and Bird out on the floor. Bell dribbles with the left hand, spins around, puts up the right hand shot short. Parker grabs the rebound for Scottsbluff. Dolis across the timeline, dribbles with the left hand into the lane, puts up the right hand floater, too strong, grabs his own rebound, comes over to Harsh, hits the backdoor and Quentin Scott, who lays it in with the right hand for 2.
Again, falling asleep at the wheel there for Cheyenne South on the defense, not at least realizing the guy sitting at least in the blind spot.
15-9 with 2:40 left. Bird, high steps, gets in the lane, puts up the right hand floater over shot blockers, and he misses the shot. Parker grabs another rebound, his 4th. Across the timeline comes Moore. Moore in the lane. He lays it in with the left hand around Ray. And they're getting to the net easily. They're getting open looks from 3. They can't do no wrong right now.
Again, another
Scottsbluff.
Yeah, another charge on the offensive side. Again, this is a Bearcats team that just so quick, so high-powered offense.
Coach Bailey holding up 2 fingers for South this offensive set. Mascarenas almost lost the handle. Rips through, goes to the side, goes with the 10-footer. It's an air ball. And Diolis grabs the loose ball. He'll come across the timeline in a hurry. Gets in the lane. Nice driving dish, but Scott couldn't handle it. He'll slow it down. Diolis and Scott both in the right corner. Comes up top. Harsh has it on the left wing. Looking to go down low. Gives it to Parker. Nice grab with the left hand. Works on Bell. Bell falls to the floor. No call as Parker lays it in for 2.
10-point advantage now for Scottsbluff, up 19-9 here.
1:40 left on the Pepsi scoreboard in our first quarter. Bird with the basketball, dribbles with the right hand, step back. Instead, we'll hand it off to Ray. Bell, left wing 3. Nothing but net. Kevin Bell hits his second 3-ball. It's the 4th one of the quarter. It's the only way they've scored thus far for South. 19-12 to score with 1:20 left. Harsh, he'll put up a 3, trying to answer. It's short. Mascarenas grabs the rebound. Mascarenas gives it off to Kevin Bell. Coach Bailey telling them to run down the floor. Don't let their big men get set up. As speaking of big men, Clarkson will go to the scoring table to check in next whistle. Alexander with the basketball, looking for someone to pop out. Quentin Scott grabs the pass and will lay it in with the right hand for 2. A steal and 2 for Quentin Scott. He's got 4, 50 seconds left here in this quarter. Ray down the right block, pump fake, puts up the right hand shot, and rattles it home. He's got his first 2 points, 21-14 the score.
The rarity on the inside for Cheyenne South here so far.
Scott comes out top. DeOlis will fake the shot and then put it up for three. Rattles in and out. Parker's there to grab the rebound. Falls to the floor. It's a travel as Bell was laying on the floor and was tripped over by Parker. Clarkson and Darnell will come in. Scott and Parker will come out. Bell's out as well for South as Manzanares will check in. Cummings in with Mascarenas coming out. 21-14 the score in favor of Scottsbluff. 25 seconds left. Mascarenas with the basketball. Manzanares with the basketball. Goes to Ray in the corner. Cummings deep three from the left wing. Rattles in and out, and Harsh grabs the rebound.
The first three-pointer miss by Cheyenne South here in the quarter.
Dolis will dribble handoff to Moore. Now back to DeOlis. DeOlis trying to cross over. Will get in the lane. Bounce pass down low to Clarkson. Tries to reverse lane. It should have been a travel. It is just a little bit late. Went for the reversal. Lost the handle. Still came back down with it without anybody touching it. With 2.1 seconds left, it's going to be a heave and a hoe as Ray will put up the three-quarter shot. It'll be well short. 21-14 after one quarter of play. It's a 1 minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. One to 14 after one quarter of play. Josiah Dulles with 9 points in that first quarter to lead the way for Scottsbluff. It's him, Harsh, Darnell, Clarkson, and Moore out on the floor for Scottsbluff. For South, it's Scott, Bell, Ray, Bird, and Cummings.
The key thing for that first quarter for Cheyenne South, again, still down to this Bearcats team. Again, the three ball was huge for South.
And a errant pass by Ray to Cummings. It's out of play, and it's the fifth turnover for South, and Scottsbluff will have the basketball. With that 21-14 lead. Across the timeline comes DeOlis. Dribbles with the left hand, stops in the lane, goes to Clarkson on the right block, just backs down Scott, but too strong, and Scott grabs the offensive rebound, or the defensive rebound. Ray across the timeline, slows it down, gives it off to Bird. Bell, 2 3-pointers hitting that first quarter with the basketball. We'll give it off to Bird. Scott on the right corner. Bird fakes the shot, now spin move, still dribbling between the legs. Comes up top, Bell fakes the shot from three straight away. Now trying to back down, Harsh stops at the elbow, goes to Scott. Scott trying to have Moore tried to pick it off from behind. Clarkson saying straight up. Scott's pass goes underneath the basket and right into the hands of Dolis. It's the sixth turnover. Dolis trying to go coast to coast. Airballs the shot. Waiting for it there was Moore with the easy putback too. And the lead's up to 9, the largest here tonight.
Speed, muscle, and size. That's kind of the key three right now for the Bearcats.
Bell with the basketball, post to post. Scott recovers, puts it up high off the glass, hits off the left iron, and Harsh grabs the rebound for Scottsbluff. Here's DeOlis, who tried to run with the basketball before he caught it. Goes out of play. It'll be South basketball. Parker will come in for Sebastian Harsh. Here for the first time, we'll see number 25, Raymond Doherty.
Doherty, who we saw against Casper Kelly Walsh, and have at least a good output, unfortunately, in that losing effort.
6'4" senior forward. Had his pass, or the pass intended for him by Bird was batted away, but Ray able to grab the loose ball. Bird from three, hits off the front iron. The rebound will come down to Scottsbluff as it goes out of play. It was Bell and Cummings trying to grab it. no one could get two hands on it. 6:25 left here in the second quarter, 23-14, Scottsbluff with the lead.
A contest that's been led the entire way so far by the Bearcats.
Driving baseline was Darnell. He had it swatted away by Doherty. The ball's on the floor, and Bird grabs the loose ball, tries to throw the pass to Bell, who was cheating down the floor. Bell draws the contact on Parker, fadeaway off the glass and in for two. He's got 7.
Threw up a trick shot there, and it fell through some way, somehow.
Bell with a hot start here in this one. Delos right hand lays it in for 2 as he gets around Jaden Cummins.
And how quick is that answer back by Scottsbluff? They've been able to do that here so far this entire, at least, contest.
25-16, Scottsbluff with the lead. South with the basketball. Ray goes to Doherty on the elbow. Kick over in the corner to Cummins. Cummings dribbles in the right hand, gets in the lane. Kick out to Bell's, batted out of play by Parker. As we'll see Manzanares and Mascarenas come in for South. Coming out of the game will be Ray and Cummings.
Cheyenne South team, as we mentioned, going 2-1 this past weekend at the Taco John's Invite. Team that sits at 6-3 overall on this early season.
Bird jab steps, still has his dribble, but being hounded by Darnell. Darnell still has it hounding Bird as Bird lost his dribble. Mascarenas in the wing. Jab step, still with the basketball. Not a ton of movement right now for South. Bell gets in the lane. Nice dribble handoff to Doherty, who has to save it. Couldn't see the pass through Clarkson. Saving it on that steal was more to Clarkson.
As Clarkson, again, a big red wall. He is tall and wide out there.
Parker fakes the 3, kick out into Olis. Open for 3. Rattles in and out. The rebound comes down to Bird. Bird jogs it across the timeline into the front court. Dribbles between the legs. Now back to the right hand. Puts it up from 3. Hits off the right iron, and Parker will grab the rebound. His 5th one for Scottsbluff. DeOlis across the timeline. No one stops him. Gets in the lane. Puts it up. It will rattle in and out. He'll go to the line, though, and shoot 2. Fouls on Michael Mascarenas.
As Mascarenas will pick up his first foul, and we're going to have a timeout called by Jeff Bailey.
It's his 3rd timeout of the half. It will be, I'm assuming, a full one. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here as well on 1480 KRAE. (25-16) with 4:39 left in the second quarter. Scottsbluff with the lead. Josiah DeOlis will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Bearcats. He's got a game-high 11 points with a chance to add 2 more to that. First one on the way, rolls in through the back iron.
I do want to mention again, as we talked about, at least Mascarenas picking up his first foul. Team's 2nd called against Cheyenne South here in this first half.
Second one on the way is going to hit the front iron, left iron, and Doherty will grab his first rebound. Heavy down the court goes Manzanares, who lays it in for 2. He's got 5 points off the bench. So he was running down the floor, beating everybody. Moore loses the handle. Bird comes up with his 4th steal. Bird goes over to Manzanares, step back 3. Short. The rebound comes to DeOlis, who dribbles through 3 South players, looking to go coast to coast. Lays it in with the right hand, just too strong, or tried to lay it in with the right hand, too strong. And Bell, who was moving his feet, will be called for the foul.
As Bell will pick up his first foul. Team's 3rd called against Fightin Bison here.
Olis will go back to the line. 26-18, 4:08 left here in the second quarter. First one on the way. Gets the shooter's roll. Front iron, back iron rolls through. Alexander will come in for Doherty.
As I'll mention this again without getting the jinx on us, but at least a very foul light game so far, at least first half. 3 only for South, 1 for Scottsbluff.
Second one on the way, nothing but net. He's 3 for 4 at the line. He's also has 14 points. Josiah DeOlis does, as their largest lead is 10 here in this second quarter. Harsh will be called for the block on Cameron Bird. And for Bird, for Harsh,
it'll be
his first.
His first, team second called against the Bearcats here.
Bird gets the inbound. Olis playing defense up high on him as Scottsbluff's in a man defense. Again, for someone to move and get open, gives it to Mascarenas. Alexander trying to post up down low. Mascarenas instead drives the ball right towards him. Now Bell, kind of a pseudo pass to Manzanares is missed, and then Alexander traveled on after the offensive rebound.
Again, not a whole lot of movement by Cheyenne South, and rightfully so. Again, those are some big bodies that for Cheyenne South you're trying to push around on that floor, try to get past as well. Again, very difficult here tonight.
And the movement they are doing is when the driver's going into the lane, you see a cutter going to the lane, so their timing and communication's a little bit off as well. Scott, who checks into the game for Scottsbluff, is in with the basketball, gets it into Parker. Turnaround from 5 is way long, and Manzanares will grab his first rebound tonight. Bird behind the back dribble 2 times, now goes between the legs, trying to show off his fancy handles. Nice one step, it's blocked by Parker though. Scott with the loose ball. Dolis gets into the lane. It's going to be offensive foul. They're going to say Dolis lowered his shoulder into Bell, his first.
His first, team's third called against Scottsbluff here in this first half.
Jeremiah Moite will come in as well as Cummings. As Bird will come out, as well as Manzanares. Bird doesn't look very happy that he's coming out.
He's a workhorse for Jeff Bailey, and rightfully so. Again, he wants to play the entire, at least contest if he could.
Moite goes to Alexander. Alexander faces up, loses his dribble. Looking for someone to pop out towards him. Someone needs to come to him before a 5-second call. Cummings does. Jab step, dribbles with the right hand between the legs. Now looking to get into the lane. Jump back to Bell for left wing 3. It's too strong, and it will be Scott with the rebound. 23, Isaiah Mendoza for the first time comes in. Bell almost comes up with the steal. Parker will grab it in the backcourt. 2:30 left here in the second half. 28-18 the score. Dolis with the basketball for Scottsbluff. Bounce pass down low. Harshman tried to go up and under. Good defense, though, by Maureen Alexander. Dolis into the lane. 2-hand check by Mascarenas will pick up his second foul.
His second, and it'll be team's fourth called against Cheyenne South. As now the fouls start to pick up here at the waning moments of this first half.
Raymond Doherty will come in for for South. Dawson Moore will come in for Scottsbluff to spill Dolis.
Actually, that's going to be Quentin Scott, number 1 for at least the Bearcats coming in.
No, Moore came in. Scott was already in. Left wing 3 misses the iron. Alexander grabs the rebound.
And Scottsbluff has been very quiet so far. Again, offense for both teams, at least cold.
Cummings trying to drive, gets it 2 bounces off the rim, can't get it to fall, or Alexander grabs the offensive rebound. Now it's tied up, and it will be a jump ball.
There's again a little aggressive nature on that jump ball there. Refs had to come in and settle things down a bit.
2 minutes left in the second quarter, 28-18 the score. Moore with the basketball as Bird will check in next whistle. Harsh straight away with the basketball high over his head will come to Moore on the left wing. Moore will put up the 3 ball. Got it to go for Dawson Moore. He's got 7. The lead's up to 13, largest here in this first half.
And that's where you want, at least that's how you want to end a cold spell, with a big 3 there by the Bearcats.
Moite in the lane, puts up the shot and is fouled on the way up, so he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's going to be the 14th foul called against Scottsbluff here in this second quarter. And it looks like that one's going to be against Mendoza, so he'll pick up his first foul.
Darnell, Clarkson, and Dillis will come in for Scottsbluff. For South, it will be Manzanares, Ray, and Bird. And it wasn't a shooting foul, I guess. So I'm wrong. It looked like he was on his way up, but they're going to say it wasn't a shooting foul, and South will have the basketball underneath. It'll be Alexander to trigger it into Ray. Up top, Manzanares with his 5 points off the bench. Doherty tries to pass it down low. It's batted. Back to Alexander for 15 on the right side. Misses the iron, and grabbing the rebound is Moore. Dolis has to run back for it. Now it gets into the lane, puts up the right-hand floater that has the toilet flushed around as it goes around the bowl. Gets around Bird. Nobody can stay in front of Dolis right now. He's quick. Not only is he quick, but he's broad as well, so tough to stop when he gets in there.
As the Bearcats extend out this large lead.
Alexander loses the dribble, comes to the left wing. Bird with the 3-ball attempt, way long. Manzanares grabs the rebound, goes to Ray, right-hand shot. No foul called, nor Alexander, though, with the follow, picks up his first 2 points. 33-20 with 40 seconds left. Dolis across the timeline, driving, dish to Clarkson, lays it in for 2.
That's easy. Again, the big man who's at least rushing down the court has the height advantage. That's an easy 2 points for the Bearcats.
35-20 with 30 seconds left here in this second quarter. Pass almost taken away by Moore. Here's Ray, gets into the lane, puts up the right-hand floater, shits off the right iron. Alexander with his 3rd offensive rebound, and we're going to get a jump ball. It's going to stay
That should
South
be
basketball.
Yeah, with Cheyenne South with 20.1 seconds remaining before half.
Bell will come in for Leandre Ray.
As we are still waiting for him to exit out of the court.
Well, Alexander, the trigger man for South, will lob it into Manzanares almost at half court. Loses the handle, has to regain it. 16 seconds left on the Pepsi scoreboard here in the half. High screen from Alexander. Clarkson runs into him. Alexander in the paint. Tries to throw it over to Bird. Bird gets it back, and a foul called on Jack Darnell, reaching over the backup Bird.
It's going to be the 5th team foul called against the Bearcats, as you mentioned with Darnell, his first.
6.4 seconds left here in this first half. 35-20, Scottsbluff with the lead. Handoff comes in, stolen by Moore. Clarkson's going to have to hurry. The right-hand floater, he grabs his own rebound, and Deolis had 2 opportunities for it, can't get it to fall. 35-20 after 1 half of play. We'll take a 2-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Cheyenne South. We're at a halftime of our boys contest between Cheyenne South and Scottsbluff. Right now it is the Bearcats out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, leading Cheyenne South by a score of 35-20. Coming up tonight in D1 action, as we've been alluding to at least JUCO basketball, but happening over in Reno, Nevada. It will be the Wyoming Cowboys looking for their first Mountain West Conference win as they stand 5-13 overall. They will be taking on Nevada, the Wolfpack, who are 10-7. That game happening tonight at least 8 o'clock. You can watch that game tonight on at least CBS Sports Network. So again, the Cowboys in action in Reno looking for their first Mountain West Conference victory. And also, too, speaking of college basketball, again, coming up here on 1480 KRAE this Thursday and Saturday, we'll have more LCCC basketball as we will continue to be on the road. Thursday's action will be up in Riverton, Wyoming, as we will be at Central Wyoming College to see the Lady Rustlers and Rustlers LCCC. And those games will be at 5:30 and 7:30 this Thursday. And Saturday's action will be in Sheridan to see Sheridan College, the Lady Generals and Generals. 2 and 4 o'clock is the start times for that. Women up first in these contests, men up second. So looking forward to it as we have more, at least JUCO basketball coming up here on 1480 KRAE. What we're going to do is take a 2-minute timeout, be back with more of our halftime show here on 1480 KRAE.
$35-20 the score at the half here at the Fightin Bison Gymnasium. Scottsbluff over South. Scottsbluff led the entirety of that first half, outscoring South 21-14 in the first quarter, 14-6 in the second quarter. As we look at our point totals, Josiah Dulles, the guard for Scottsbluff, was 16 points in that first half, 7 for Dawson Moore, 4 apiece for Quentin Scott and Sam Clarkson. Chance Parker with 2 points as well. 2 points for Jack Darnell. So that's how they got their 35. For South, they were led by Kevin Bell, who had a couple of three-pointers in that first half. 8 points for him. 5 points for Marcus Manzanares off the bench. Just 3 points for Cameron Bird. 2 apiece for Maureen Alexander and Leandre Ray. 9 turnovers for South in that first half, and 7 for Scottsbluff. So for South, you get 7 turnovers, but you don't see a lot of points out of it.
No.
For Scottsbluff, you see 9 turnovers, and I would say on maybe all but 2, they got points out of it.
Well, and for Cheyenne South, you're very fortunate, or at least you should be thankful that you're down by 15 to the Scottsbluff team, where, again, a lot of those three-pointers where, again, they were streaky, at least from behind the arc, hitting those threes, thankfully, for the Fightin Bison. But, again, you had difficulties, or if you were having those issues from behind the arc, you know, this could be a lot bigger deficit than what it is. Already, though, a big deficit at 15 points. So, again, what can you say, or at least what can Coach Jeff Bailey say to his guys to get them at least fired up or at least get them ready for this second half? There's not much to be said. Again, Scottsbluff has the height, has the speed. Again, they have been aggressive on the inside. Cheyenne South, again, they're not going to give up, though. They're going to continue to fight. But, again, how much more do they have left in the tank to get it done against this very talented Scottsbluff team?
Well, one thing for South, too, is you can't hit the panic button yet. You're only down 15 after half. And, you know, you're a team that can score. Your leading scorer only has 3 points. Cameron Bird is an elite scorer in this state. He's going to get his points. So you know they're going to come. You just have to make sure on defense you're not allowing Deolis to just drive right by you, and you're not waiting. You're not taking forever to get back. You have to get back and get set up on defense.
But, again, in theory, will that happen with Cameron Bird? Again, the workhorse, the guy who has led Cheyenne South throughout this season. Again, he's got a spotlight on him right now by the Bearcats that have been able to quiet him down, shut him out of this contest. So we'll see what happens going forward. Yes, Cameron Bird needs to step it up. He needs to be that offensive go-getter for the Fightin Bison to get back in this contest and possibly come away with the upset victory over this Scottsbluff team.
We'll take our final 2-minute timeout and have the start of the third quarter for you right after this on 1480 KRAE. South will come out with Scott, Bell, Bird, Ray, and Cummings. They're starting 5 out on the floor. Scottsbluff will actually start with the basketball, and Scottsbluff will have their starting 5. Moore, Darnell, DeOlis, Clark, and Parker out on the floor. South now going left to right across your screen or your radio dial, however you're joining us here on 1480 KRAE for high school hoops. Moore with the basketball, dribbles with the right hand. Looks like South will be in a 1-3-1 zone here to start the half. Maybe try to do anything they can to cut the lanes out of the way. Parker, short corner, skip pass to Olis, extra pass over to Moore, left corner 3, rattles in and out. The rebound comes to Kevin Bell. Bell will slow it down, dribble with the left hand, go over to Bird on the right side. Good stop for South to start here. Scott on the right block. Working on Clarkson. One dribble, terminates, goes over towards Bird. One dribble, picks it up. Scott with the basketball again, gets into the lane, puts up the right-hand shot. Too strong, rebound comes to Parker. Here comes Scottsbluff, their chance to expand on this 15-point lead. 1-3-1 still for South. Down low, Scott comes up with the steal.
Kind of an errant pass there, at least it looked like, for Scottsbluff. Took his eye off of at least the play there for a quick second and caused the turnover.
Bird with the basketball, goes over to Scott at the top. Seen Scott attempt a couple of threes and hits Bell cutting with the left hand instead of the right hand. It's too strong. Clarkson grabs the rebound.
the Fightin Bison, basically on the offensive side, need to calm down.
Nice job by Darnell to go straight through the rack around Scott for the easy 2. Our first points here in the second half. Bell left corner 3, got it! Bell hits his third 3-pointer, cuts the lead to 14. Dolis with the basketball, full court pressure for South. Dolis gets around that like Swiss cheese. Down low, Clarkson pump fake, too strong, grabs his own rebound, lays it in, tries to lay it in with the right hand. Can't do that either. Scott grabs the rebound. Bird puts up the left corner 3, nothing but net. Back-to-back 3 balls hit by South, and the lead is cut to 11, and we got a fan on the floor.
I do believe something just fell, at least rolled out on the floor. He wasn't trying to charge on or anything, thankfully.
No streaking situations here. 37-26. 6:05 left here in this third quarter. Back-to-back 3-pointers. Bell and Bird. Dolis pushes off on Cummings, no call. Darnell with the right wing, kick out. Parker, he'll try to go over to Moore, left corner 3, rattles home. Nobody rotating.
And that one stings there for Cheyenne South. That had all sorts of momentum. Again, gets quiet down by that, at least cutthroat 3.
If you're going to run a zone, you have to move. You have to rotate, or you're going to leave shooters like Dawson Moore wide open. Bird on the screen and roll. Instead goes to Bell on the right wing. Bounce pass Ray, right corner. Ray, 2 dribbles with the right hand, picks it up in the corner, goes to Bird on the right wing, fakes the shot, now gets in the lane, pulls up from the right elbow, hits off the right iron. Hunter Scott grabs the rebound, tries to create some space, but it's blocked by Clarkson.
Clarkson, who has about an 8 or 9 inch advantage, and just swatting that away.
Scott and Cummings comes out. Manzanares and Alexander will come in for South. It's the second block for Clarkson here in the game. Alexander will lob it into Bird. Darnell tries to jump up high to grab it. Kick out. Open for 3 is Bell. Got it again! Kevin Bell with his fourth three-pointer. And I'll tell you what, Nick, the three-pointer is at least keeping this respectable right now as they're still down 11. Darnell across the timeline. Goes to Clarkson in the short corner. Back up top. Dolis fakes the 3. Now goes to the elbow. Clarkson fakes his shot. Goes down low. Parker in the bank for 2.
But that doesn't help either. Again, Cheyenne South needs more defensive stops. Again, can't allow those easy, at least, moves on the inside, but also, too, again, they're having difficulty at least battling those bigs.
Manzanares on the backdoor cut. Couldn't handle the pass. It goes out of play. It's the 10th turnover for South.
Chance for Scottsbluff here to at least add more to the large lead, a lead that they've had from the beginning of this contest.
Dolis will try to get across the timeline. Has his pocket picked. Bird comes up with another steal. It's 5th one. Down low, Manzanares extra behind the back pass as he saves it. Reverse lay-in by Ray is good for 2. Some flash there as South cuts the lead back to 11. Across the timeline, Darnell jump stops over to Parker in the corner. Moore again, too strong. Bird grabs the rebound. Here comes South in transition. Bird around to Olis. Stops on the left wing. Now gets into in the lane. Stops, goes to Alexander. Pump fake, throws it up, and fouled on the way up. Maureen will go up to the line to shoot 2.
As that's going to be called against Clarkson. He'll pick up his first foul. Team's first called against Scottsbluff here in this third quarter.
Mascanaris will come in for Bell. Harsh will come in for Clarkson. They're going to say he wasn't shooting. Again, another suspect call, as I thought Manzanares in that first half was shooting, and they said no. Alexander definitely looked like he was on his way up, but they said no again.
Jeff Bailey not too happy with that, letting the ref know about it.
Ray with the basketball. You make up for it by just getting a bucket here. Bounce pass, Alexander in the block, goes up the right-hand shot this time. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That'll be second team foul call against the Bearcats.
First on Parker.
As Parker will pick up that foul.
I just got done erasing my 2 circles too. Gosh dang it. 42-31, 3:58 left here in the third quarter. Scottsbluff with the lead. Alexander's first free throw attempt hits off the right iron.
And these free throws very crucial for Cheyenne South to get back into this contest, and if not, take the first lead of the night for the Fightin Bison.
Alexander again, right foot on the line, left foot just behind it. Puts up the free throw attempt. That one rolls in. And for Alexander, he's got 3 points. The lead cut to 10.
42-32 advantage of the Bearcats so far.
Harsh with the basketball, had it almost taken away by Manzanares as Dolis gets it across the timeline. Dolis crossover into the lane, puts up the right hand, shot and one. Michael Mascarenas, I think, may have picked up his third foul.
Yeah, he does. His third, team's first called against Cheyenne South. So that's going to prompt at least Cummings to come back in.
Cummings is coming in, though, for Manzanares, not Mascarenas. Dolis on the night, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, trying for 3 the hard way here as he has a game-high 18 points. Lead up to 12, make it 13 as he knocks that one in. He's got 19 of the 45.
As much as South has momentum and finds at least energy to get back into this contest, and Scottsbluff finds a way to quiet him down.
Cummings jump stops. It's blocked by Parker. That thing was a straight stuff as Darnell gets it across the timeline. Bird playing defense on him. Goes into the lane, kick out Moore. Fakes the pass, stops just inside the free throw line and gets it to crawl in through the front iron. And Moore has 12, lead up to 15 just like that. Back to where it started. Bird straight away, gets into the lane, throws the right-handed floater, hits off the front iron. Harsh grabs the rebound. Here comes Scottsbluff in transition. Dolis into the lane, puts up the right-hand shot. He's fouled on the way up. He'll go to line to shoot 2 as he grabs the groin area.
Second team foul called against Cheyenne South.
Mascarenas picks up his 4th, and here comes Jeremiah Moite. Dolis' first one on the way is up and good.
As Mascarenas, again, the only rare, at least Fightin Bison in foul difficulty with 4, and not a whole lot of fouls have been called on either team.
Bell will come in as well as Moite. Ray and Mascarenas will take a seat. Dolis again with another chance at the free throw line, puts it up and good. He's got a game high 21.
And now a 17-point advantage for the Bearcats.
Largest of the evening for Scottsbluff. Alexander at the very top, looking for Moite to do a backdoor screen backdoor cut instead of screening. Parker in transition grabs his own rebound, misses that one. Alexander grabs that loose ball.
As Parker thought he was getting held on and also to at least grab.
Moite way up high with the basketball, looking for someone to flash up top on him. Still has his dribble, doesn't take it. Ellis did a great job just to distract the pass enough to have it go off the hands of Bird and out of play. It's the 12th turnover for South. Scottsbluff will have the basketball as Hunter Scott will check in with 2:25 on the Pepsi scoreboard.
As it feels like now the wheels are starting to fall off for Cheyenne South, unfortunately.
Josiah DeOlis with the basketball. Directing traffic as it looks like South's back in their 1-3-1. Dolis looks over the defensive set, goes to Moore up high on the side, asks for it back. Dribbles with the left hand, stops inside. Harsh pass to Parker. A little tic-tac-toe, easy 2.
As that lead again grows larger for Scottsbluff here, and as they've led the entire way in this contest.
Up 19 now, Cummings. As Manzanares and Ray will check in next whistle. Cummings tried a lob pass to Scott and went off the backboard. Dolis grabs it and is fouled on the fast break attempt by Moite. Good foul as they were going out in transition and had numbers. Manzanares will come in for Cummings. Ray will come in for Moite.
As Moite, again, as you mentioned, picking up his first foul. Team's third called against the Fightin Bison here in this quarter.
Inbound pass comes to DeOlis, who will get it into the front court with 1:40 left here in this third quarter. Dribble handoff. Moore. Deep 3. Rolls it in. Dawson Moore with his third 3 ball, second of the quarter. Lead up to 22. Ray into the lane. Throws up the right hand. Is fouled by Moore, who blocked the shot. Ray will go to the line to shoot 2, I think. Who knows?
We'll see, as it looks like they will. As you mentioned, Moore picking up that foul, his second, team's third against the Bearcats. And yes, they will be shooting this one. And hopefully Jeff Bailey at least gets his wish, at least finally gets some shots.
Free throw attempt by Ray, rattles in and out. They'll have one more coming, 75% on the season. We'll see Tyler.
It'll be Tyler Hare.
Harry. I wrote it down. I couldn't remember if it's Hare or Harry. It's Harry.
Harry.
And then number 23, Isaiah Mendoza. Second one on the way. Misses again, and Clarkson grabs his 5th rebound for Scottsbluff. Scott will run the point with Dolis on the bench. Parker on the bench as well for Scottsbluff. Bird almost does come up with his 6th steal. Hands it off to Manzanares, puts up the right hand and one! Manzanares with a little English on that one for the finish.
Yeah, Scott will pick up that foul for Scottsbluff, his first, team's 4th called against the Bearcats.
Bird with 6 steals and 2 assists now, so he's still filling up the box score. They're down 20 with 1 free throw coming. Manzanares has that one roll in and out. So they've gone 0 for the last 4. Or sorry, 1 for the last 5, really. Harsh has it at the top, and you hear a big old slap. Manzanares said, yeah, I got him, I guess.
Yes, he'll pick up his first foul, team's 4th called against Cheyenne South.
1 minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Harsh to inbound it. Will throw it in to Scott. Scott with the left-hand dribble now goes to the right. Harsh left corner 3. Hits off the right iron. The rebound comes to Manzanares, but then it slipped right out of his hands, out of play. Scottsbluff will have the basketball.
Good effort there by Manzanares. Just couldn't control the body. Bearcats have another at least opportunity here on the offensive zone.
Inbound comes to Harsh. Harsh will go to Clarkson on the right side. Clarkson over to Harry. Harry up top. Harsh down low. Clarkson, extra pass, had it batted away. Should stay Scottsbluff basketball. They're going to say no. No, here it is. Yeah, they said South basketball, but it definitely looked like it was tipped, and the official comes from that far side, comes and said, yeah, it was tipped. Scottsbluff will have the basketball.
So another chance here for the Bearcats.
Inbound comes to Harsh. Goes over to Clarkson. Looks like a very similar play than what we just saw. Clarkson into the middle. Goes to Mendoza, who dribbles it out. 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 54-34 is our score. Mendoza backdoor cutting. Found by Clarkson, and Mendoza gets his first 2 points. As for Clarkson, he picks up his first assist. Bell, right corner 3. It's short, and Clarkson grabs his 6th rebound. Almost stolen away, and actually it was stolen away initially. Clarkson actually going to be called for the foul as he was trying to get the ball back for Manzanares.
Yeah, Clarkson getting at least caught with the push foul there. His 2nd, team's 5th called against Scottsbluff here.
11.7 seconds. You got to appreciate the hustle of Manzanares here in a 22-point deficit. Bird will put up the 3 ball without a hand in his face. It's off the back iron. Clarkson will jump high enough to grab his 7th rebound. Half-court shot at the horn. It counts if it goes. The bank shot is off the mark. We'll go to the 4th. Scottsbluff up 56-34. 1 minute timeout on 1480 KRAE. One more quarter left here to play at Fightin Bison Gymnasium. South down at 56-34. It will be Parker, Clarkson, Deolis, Darnell, and more. For South, it's Bird, Manzanares, Ray, Bell, and Scott.
As for Cheyenne South, they made a go of it at least midway through that 3rd quarter, trying to chip away, got it down almost to single digits. But again, Scottsbluff just taking advantage, just using their might and extending it out to now a 22-point advantage.
Looks like Scottsbluff will start out in a zone as Clarkson bats the pass away from Scott out of play. Scottsbluff will retain possession. The Bearcats in a 1-3-1. Ray will inbound it. Taken away by Parker. Parker tried to tip it to Deolis, who makes it in the trash can. It's probably going to have some nachos and popcorn on it now, but it'll stay South basketball.
Ref looked at it, said it's clean, and I guess game on.
I think he looked like he was going to have a little smell, see what kind of flavor or what kind of nachos it was in there.
Get a quick snack.
Right. Moore comes up with the steal. He'll have a steal and 2 as he rolls it in with the fingertips.
24-point advantage now for the Bearcats, up 58-34.
Bird jogs it across the timeline for South. He's at the top, goes down to the elbow to Scott. Scott lob pass to Manzanares. Batted away by Moore, but kept alive by Cameron Bird. Bird still with it, goes up top. Scott straight away, looking for someone down low. Instead, we'll go to Ray. Manzanares, Bird in the right wing. Working the perimeter. Ray now in the lane. Pass to Scott. Nice drive and dish by Leandre Ray as Scott picks up his first 2 points. And for Ray, he picks up his first assist. Deolis across the timeline. Gets into the lane. Euro step. Traveled. Took one too many steps on that, trying to get that lob pass as Raymond Doherty will check in for Bell.
Again, try to get a little fancy on the footwork there. Refs weren't buying it. Turnover, at least chance for Cheyenne South.
Cummings will come in for Manzanares.
Chance for the Fightin Bison here to chip away at the large lead, try to make it respectable here. And again, it's pretty much at this point in time for Jeff Bailey's squad. And it's that urgent matter of, again, every basket counts, every free throw matters here.
6:50 left here in the fourth quarter on our Pepsi scoreboard. 22-point lead for Scottsbluff. Bird still with the basketball, waiting for the motion down low to run its course. Goes to Ray on the left side. It's way up high. Dolis now bodies up. Nice behind the back dribble by Ray. Kick out Cummings. Fakes the shot. Will pull up from the right corner. Hits off the right iron. Chance Parker grabs another rebound, his 8th. Headman pass Moore in the corner. Down low, Parker fakes the shot and has Doherty on his shoulder. Should be a foul on the floor, and it is. Doherty about went for a ride, though.
Yeah. Doherty picks up his first foul, team's 5th called against Cheyenne South. Again, at least that tells you with Clarkson, he's got a good base if he can carry that weight on his shoulders.
Like you said, offensive lineman for sure. As Bird almost came up with his 7th steal. Dolis with the basketball, and he's going to be a foul called on Ray on the hand check.
That'll be the 16th foul called against Cheyenne South. For Ray, it's his first. We'll have another inbound play by Scottsbluff.
Moore, nobody was on him. He goes in the lane, dunks it home with the right hand. It wasn't flush, but it's still a dunk nonetheless, and that gets his Scottsbluff teammates up and off the bench.
And also to the faithful that traveled from Scottsbluff here in attendance.
Bird with the basketball, dribbles with the right hand between the legs, go to Ray in the wing. Ray in the lane, goes over to Scott right by him, went 95, right by his noggin. 5:56, 24-point lead for Scottsbluff, their largest.
As this game's starting to get well out of hand for the Fightin Bison.
Deolis into the lane again. Nobody picks him up, and he goes to the rack and fouled and one.
17th foul called against Cheyenne South with that one. So bonus time for Scottsbluff. And that one's going to be at least called against, and it looks like Jaden Cummings, who will pick up his first foul.
And for Deolis again at the line, he's 6 for 7, trying for his 2nd and 1 attempt, and he'll get it to go. He's got a game-high 24 as we have a substitution. Mascaneris will come in for Cummings.
As we had the horn going on, but the ref didn't even realize that and let him inbound the play.
27-point lead for Scottsbluff. Bird across the timeline. Between the leg dribble, goes to Ray on the right side. Deolis playing defense on him as Scottsbluff is switched back to man. Alexander on the block, kick out, Bird. Bird fakes the shot, still has his dribble, stops at the elbow, double pump, short, and the rebound pinballs back to Bird. Bird dribbled it out of bounds. Oh no, they called the block on Clarkson. Thought he dribbled it out of bounds, but they're going to say it was a block on Clarkson.
He'll pick up his 3rd, team 6 called against Scottsbluff. Okay.
Harsh and Scott will come in for Scottsbluff. It will be Moore and Olis that will come out for the Bearcats.
With the big Clarkson still in there for Scottsbluff.
And you can see Moore on the bench getting some push and shoves and high fives after the dunk he had. Doherty gets the inbound, comes up top to Ray. 63-36, 5:25. Scottsbluff has led wire to wire thus far. Alexander, kick out. Doherty, left hand shooting three is long, and the rebound comes down to Harsh, who picks up his fifth. Darnell, hand off to Scott. Scott back to Darnell, left corner, fakes the three, goes to Clarkson, rolls it in for two. Nice unselfish play there by Jack Darnell.
And also, too, good awareness, realizing that your big was wide open on the inside for the easy basket.
29-point lead as we're going to see some more substitution as the coach Goulian is going to go deep into his bench here. With two more games still this week, they'll go to the Thunderdome for East on Friday, and then the Fieldhouse against Central as Bird gets the roll in with the right hand. That will be on Saturday, and we'll take a 30-second timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. A 27-point lead. Dang gum, it's something. 27-point lead. I can't do math at this point. 27-point lead for Scottsbluff South. We'll have Tiger Moite come in for the first time. For Scottsbluff, we'll see number 14, James Brunner, for the first time, and Tyler Harry will check in since the first time this half. As Harsh goes to the lane, rattles in and out, does his bank shot attempt, and Alexander grabs his 7th rebound. Mascaneris will put up a three from the left side. Banks it home for three. The three ball has been something that has fallen for South tonight. Harry, he'll put up a three. It's an air ball. Mascarenas grabs the rebound.
Yeah, if you're Jeff Bailey, you're very proud to see what your team can do from behind the arc.
Long pass to Moite, falls out of play. South will lose the possession. Kobe Bardo will check in for the first time for South, as well as we'll see number 12 for Scottsbluff, Trevor Schwartz, and number 32, Trace Travnicek. Three ball by Bird, it falls home. His third three ball, the lead back to 21.
So as Giant South, again, trying to chip away at the large lead, doing at least very well so, again, hitting those threes.
With the basketball is Schwartz. Schwartz will go to Harry. Over in the corner to Mendoza, who'll put up a three. Swish by Mendoza. Seems like every time they do get any type of momentum to South, Scottsbluff comes back with a big shot. Bird, he'll try to go with a three again, hits off the back iron. Grabbing the rebound up high was Brunner. Harry stops in the corner. Moite almost took it away. Tiger Moite, that is. Three ball put up by Mendoza, hits off the right iron, and it's going to be last touch by South, so it'll stay Scottsbluff basketball as Manzanares will come in for Bird.
As Scottsbluff is the team right now sitting in the bonus. Giant South, next foul, at least called against them, will put them in the bonus.
Harry, right corner three, hits off the back iron. Grabbing the rebound will be Brunner. In the corner, down low with the basketball, trying to jab step through was Brunner. He does a fadeaway, hits off the left and right iron, and it's going to be Alexander's 8th rebound. Manzanares across the timeline will slow it down, hear the call from his coach. Go over to Tiger, now in the corner, Bardo. Bardo stops, and his shot is blocked. Alexander grabs the loose ball, gets into the paint, puts up the shot. He's fouled. Shot was a little strong. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
And that will be the 17th foul called against Scottsbluff. So both teams in the bonus for the remainder of this contest. And that will be called against Brunner. He'll pick up his first.
2:43 left here in this fourth quarter. Alexander swishes the first one.
If Scottsbluff is able to hold on to the victory, they're going to move to 12-1 overall for Cheyenne South. They're going to fall to 6-4 overall.
Second one by Alexander is also good. He's 3 for 4 at the 9. He's working on that 55% from the charity stripe coming in. Lead back to 24 for Scottsbluff, or 22. In the corner, Harry fakes the 3, looking down low for his postman that's down there, Travnicek. Again, Harry down low, now gives it to Travnicek with a sweet mullet. It's Brunner up top, back to Hare in the wing. Hare dribbles twice with the right hand, gets in the lane. Travnicek will put up the 3. Actually, that was not Travnicek, that was Schwartz. It's long, Manzanares grabs the rebound, lob over to Tiger. Tiger with the right hand shot's an air ball, Brunner grabs the rebound. Gives it off to Harry. Harry, one dribble, one pass, gets it back. Mendoza on the left wing will put up the 3 ball. It's an air ball. Harry grabs the rebound. Harry over to Brunner. Brunner had a backdoor cutting. Schwartz couldn't find him. Schwartz, he'll put up a 3 ball. Hits off the front iron. Brunner grabs another rebound for Scottsbluff. Mendoza with the basketball. It's in the corner. Bounce pass. Travnicek with it. It's blocked, but a foul called on Kobe Bardo.
So you're going to say caught his wrist on that one. That's going to be 18 foul called against Cheyenne South. And again, that's going to be called against Bardo, his first.
Travnicek will go to the line to shoot 2. He'll be the first player at the line other than Josiah DeOlis as he hits his first, lead up to 23. It's been as high as 28.
But a game that has been well in control by Scottsbluff from the get-go. Again, looking to go end-to-end, coast to coast to get away with this victory. Again, big victory for the Bearcats here.
Tannen Van Tassel will come in for the first time for South as Travnicek hits both. Lead up to 24. Tiger gets into the lane, puts up the right-hand floater, hits off the left iron. Alexander grabs another rebound, puts up the shot and one for Maureen Alexander, who's not ready to call it quits yet.
18th foul called against Scottsbluff. Looks like that's going to be called against Travnicek. He'll pick up his first.
Alexander for 3 the hard way. Puts it up and got it. He's 4 for 5 from the free throw line, and he's got 8 points to go along with his 9 rebounds. Tiger Moite almost comes up with a steal. Instead, Van Tassel will come up with a steal. Manzanares loses the handle, and then good hustle by Travnicek to come up with a steal on the other end. 1:05 left in this fourth quarter. 21-point lead for Scottsbluff.
And Scottsbluff pretty much content right now to try to play keep away, burn off some time.
Of course, keep away doesn't work very well when you keep giving it back to South as Van Tassel's on the floor grabbing the rebound. Van Tassel, the brother of Riley Van Tassel of the Lady Fightin Bison. I think for Tannen Van Tassel, he's just a sophomore. No, he's a senior.
52.4 seconds remaining in this contest with Scottsbluff inbounding the basketball.
Mendoza, left corner 3, hits off the back iron. Grabbing the rebound is Schwartz. Mendoza will have it poked away from behind. It goes into the backcourt. He's able to grab it since it was touched by Moite. Brunner with the basketball, looking to go towards the corner. Instead, will come over to Harry, who catches it out high. Now they're starting to play a little bit more of that 4 corners type offense with no shot clock as there's 25 seconds left. As I say that, Schwartz goes to the basket. No shot, fouls on the floor. He made the shot, did Schwartz, but he'll go to the line to shoot 1-1.
That'll be called against Van Tassel. He'll pick up his first foul. Team's 9th called against Cheyenne South.
With 23.4 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, as Nick said, South will go on to be 6-4, and for Scottsbluff, they'll be 12-1. Schwartz on the front end will earn himself another shot. Scottsbluff will be at East High, the Thunderdome, on Friday. They'll go to Central into the Fieldhouse on Saturday. Second one on the way, nothing but net for Schwartz as he goes 2 for 2. 72-49 in favor of Scottsbluff for under 20. Manzanares with the basketball on the right wing. Goes over to Bardo. Extra pass to Van Tassel. Puts up the 3 ball. Rattles in and out as see the bench for South wanting their senior to get on the board. And Mendoza will wisely walk it across the timeline. And that will be the final horn. So it's a sweep for Scottsbluff here at South High as the final 72-49 over the Fightin Bison. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and have our post game for you right here on 1480 KRAE.
If you're looking for fun and style, then the new 2019 Kia Optima has what you need. And here at Kia of Cheyenne, we can help you own one. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Optima will reward your daily drive with comfort, performance, and advanced engineering. Kia Optima technology, your phone allows access to remote lock or unlock, climate control, 24-hour roadside assistance, and much more. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
College has been something that's always been on the back of my mind.
This is where I found what I wanted, one of my passions, what I really love to do.
In class, I feel more engaged.
The people here do care about you and they want to help you succeed in life.
They make it so easy to be a parent and be able to still go to school.
I like the way I'm improving.
I love being, part of the WHSAA family, and I'm glad I made this step in my life.
Our final again, 72-49, Scottsbluff leading wire to wire, or winning that game wire to wire as they take away back to Scottsbluff a 23-point victory over the South High Fightin Bison. Let's take a look at our final point totals. Josiah Dulles for Scottsbluff with 24 points to lead the way. Dawson Moore with 19. It was 6 points apiece for Clarkson, Parker, 5 points for Mendoza, 4 points apiece for Darnell and Scott, 2 points for Trevor Schwartz. For South, they were led by Kevin Bell with 14, Bird with 11, 8 points for Alexander, 7 for Marcus Manzanares, 4 points for Leandre Ray, 3 for Michael Mascaneris, 2 for Raymond Scott. And Nick is just, Scottsbluff just looks like a team that a lot of Nebraska's teams, especially in the 2B conference or level, are going to have a hard time dealing with. Again, a team that saw themselves be runners-up in state for football. Yeah. Typically, that will translate into a good basketball team as well.
Well, and to put at least a comparison to what Scottsbluff, at least on the boys' side of things, put out on the floor, you kind of equate them to at least minus the big of what you got over at the field house here in town. But again, you got the size and height and the build of kind of the Storbo twins. Scottsbluff looks a lot similar to that Cheyenne Central team. Again, they got the height, but also to the speed. They can hit you inside, outside, whatever it is. And again, they can shut you down as well. So again, for Cheyenne South, you basically got a taste of what you're going to see 2 times at least throughout this conference season once you get into the quadruplay, taking on that Central High Indians team. But, for Cheyenne South, it was a multitude of factors, at least tonight. Again, the size, the height, against Cheyenne South does not have an answer for it, especially when you got a 6'6" thick Clarkson, at least on the inside for the Bearcats. He was a force to be reckoned with. It is also, too, for Cheyenne South, as what we saw on the ladies' side with the Lady Fightin Bison. Errant shots, rushing shots, again, high percentage shots that should be falling for the Fightin Bison still becomes an issue for this team. And basically cost them. They had opportunities. Again, Cheyenne South had options. Again, it wasn't one and done on the offensive zone. It was you had shots, you had opportunities, but just nothing fell. Again, offense was just hard to come by for the Fightin Bison outside of the three-pointers when they got streaky. But then, as you mentioned, and again, you alluded in that fourth quarter, at least for Scottsbluff, they found a way to quiet them down.
They did. They were able to answer their shots with big shots of their own. Be interesting to see the athleticism of East, the McCord twins. How will they handle it, as well as Miller and Graydon Buell? This is a very athletic front line that Scottsbluff has, so that will be an interesting matchup again on Saturday. Central will host Scottsbluff at the Fieldhouse. We'll have LCCC basketball for you the rest of the week. Of course, the coaches show tomorrow, Coach Ortmeyer and Coach Ficka. That's in the 4 o'clock hour on Wyoming Sports Talk today. And then on Thursday, it'll be a double dip of LCCC action where you guys will be in Central Wyoming, or
yeah,
Wyoming.
We'll be in
first.
Riverton seeing Lady Rustlers and Rustlers. Again, 5:30 is the tentative, at least tap time. Again, women up first, men up second in that one. 5:10-ish pregame show coming up this Thursday. Saturday, we'll head on over to Sheridan to see the Lady Generals and Generals. That is a 2 and 4 o'clock start times for women and men of LCCC. Again, more JUCO action coming up this weekend here on 1480 KRAE. As again, we continue to become road warriors with LCCC as we get all these long-distance trips out of the way, so we don't have to worry about it in the month of February.
One as well as the at least the girls are doing. Looks like they may be able to host some conference games in the Regional 9 tournament. For Trowa Elbert-Armstrong back at the house, keeping us on air. And my partner Nick Proietti, I am Chris Polton. Thank you for watching and listening tonight. We'll take you back to your regular scheduled programming